Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year's. What a quick year we've had. I don't know about any of you, but this year feels like it's been extremely quick. And faithful, Gary, I saw your comment and it literally made me laugh. Mrs. Colombo, happy New Year to you. Batgirl, Connie. I said M faithful already. Brian, Butterfly, and Fairies. Oh, I know. I know. Um, you gotta love that. Don't you love that? Hey, Julie's good to see you. Amy O, behave. No more. Happy New Year. October Shug. How's everybody doing today? You guys excited? Ready? I cannot believe we are entering 2024 and we still have the discussions we have, which we'll likely always have. Bigots. Bigots will always be around, and that is so freaking sad. Hey Jenny, it's good to see you. I actually made a really cute video. You guys want to see it really quick? It's so cute. Actually, it's going to be my bathroom break video, so you're not going to see it yet. Oh yeah, you're in the future. Hey, One Red Rose, Chicken Fifi, Alicia. I'm calling the police. Bye. Keep impersonating me, rappers. Really cute. I'm flattered. I love when people take the time to pretend they're me. Tells me they wishes they were me. Hey, True Texan. The buffet food. Oh, okay. Yeah, I went a little earlier than I normally. I'm normally an hour later, but hey, Pretty Eye, I wanted to go ahead and go live a little bit earlier. Hey, Mrs. Fletcher. Hey, Cheese. Yeah, truly weird. It's very concerning. I don't know if is he okay? Maybe he's okay. I don't know. Hey, Jamie, Corinne. Good morning to everybody. I know people don't like when people say hi, but you know what? You all take the time to come into my streams. I think the least I can do is acknowledge everybody. After all, we are nothing without our subscribers. So if I have to spend 5 minutes saying hi, I'll spend another six, you know? Hey, Candace. So, yeah, I can't believe it's New Year's Eve. I can't believe it. This year has flown by. The only time I get sad thinking about how quick time goes is the fact that the kids are growing up. And it's just it's sad, you know. Rapper here. I'm not sure rapper's okay. Rapper's calling the police, so I hope everything's okay. I don't know. I don't know why else he'd be calling the police. Hey, new account. It is early. It's better than 20 minutes of intro music. Jameson, that shit drives me nuts. Honestly. I don't have to clean my glasses off. Little smudgy smudge on there. So, as I told you all, yesterday was my last stream on that bigot. I am done. It is clear that people like to hate view things, and that's okay. I get that. I've been one to do that myself, but this person thinks that those hate views are representative of support, and they're just not. They're just not. So, I prefer to leave her back with her whopping 47 people, and I move forward with my thing. Hey, Okie Crime. I hope everyone has a great new year. Be safe. Just dropping in to say hi. Thank you. Hey, Patty. Good morning. Good morning, Melissa Bell. So I was cruising the YouTube streets like we do like to do. And I opened a Pepsi. I don't know, jet lag. I don't know. I just hope he's okay. He's a bizarre one. Hey, B fam. Leave her back in 1950. I know. I know. I'm over it. The amount of lies, the hypocrisy. I like the fact, I do have to say this though, the idea to say that she has never contacted anybody's husband is such a lie. She's contacted several. Hey, Kelly. But all they have is their mouth and people don't care for receipts. Oh my goodness, Miss L. Thank you so much. The Sorry, I got distracted by a comment when I saw that. Thank you. I'm thinking about taking the kids. We were going to go see Willy Wonka yesterday, but we didn't. So think about going to see it with them today, doing our thing, and then I I think rappers one of those people that just like this type of chaos, right? You know what I mean? Like they just like being like, I don't know. They're weird. They go around trolling people. They go around trolling chats. What they do. So we're back on our regular trips. around the tubes. I know some people aren't too happy when we visit their place, but you know what? If it's on the internet, it's up to fair discussion. Uh, I seen a wise never friend say, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And unfortunately, that is factual on YouTube. And while I've learned that um, I can't place my own expectations onto others, I can certainly, I like Coke better than Pepsi too. I can certainly move forward with the same type of attitude. You know what I mean? Cruising the tubes. True Texan, did you get an email? True Texan told me I'm being tied in with that is so cool. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Didn't even notice that. Yeah, I like Coke because Coke seems to not go flat as quick as Pepsi. My kids love Dr. Pepper. Hey Kathy, good morning. Hey Shanley. What was I about to say right before that? You totally distracted me. Oh, True Texan saying I'm being tied in with that channel, that Mr. Nobody channel. I don't know who the hell Mr. Nobody is, but I know he's a nobody to me. Like I don't know the person. It could be. I don't mean they're not a nobody because I like their videos and I like them, but they could be anybody. So I don't know what that's all about. All right, now I need to know. Put a 1 for Pepsi and a 2 for Coke. Corinne. Coca-Cola. 2 for Coca-Cola, 1 for Pepsi, 2 for Coca-Cola. I got to see what you all are. All right. Hey, Cass. What's up, girl? It is a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. We got, lots of Coca-Colas. Reese Cup, Michelle coming in with the Pepsi, Lori with the Pepsi, Coke, 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 Coke. Wow. Coke's going by wow, it's a landslide for the Coke. Oh my goodness. I am shocked. Put a 3 if you can't afford either anymore and you're going towards the store brands. Shit is so expensive. I think we're up to like $11 for a case of soda. When the hell did that happen? I cannot support a Coke drinker. Pepsi all the way for cheese. He is loud about that. Oh, my kid love all you Coke heads. My kids love that. My daughter especially loves the fountain Dr. Pepper. Has to be fountain. Oh wow. A lot of Dr. Pepper's coming in too. I don't drink soda if I have to Canada Dry. Oh, October Shug. Live a little, honey. Ugh. I mean, I like you, but live a little. I don't like either Pepsi products like Mountain Dew. Oh, I can't stand Mountain Dew. Do you know Mountain Dew was so bad in a particular regional area that they had to pay to send around dentist, like trucks with dentists? Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you. Just plain water. I do not like water at all. Mm-mm. A case of 30 cans of Coke here is nearly 50. What? Cherry Coke. I like cherry Coke, vanilla Coke. I really love cream sodas though, like orange cream. Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew is the worst soda. I agree. My oldest loves Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, zero strawberries and cream. Something's in a McDonald's Coke. McDonald's Coke and Sprite Coke. They can replace drugs because one sip of that and you're like wholly awake. You know what I mean? Wow, a lot of people with the Dr. Peppers. Okay. Demineralizes bones, does it? That explains a lot for me. I am a sweet tea. If I'm not drinking a soda, I drink sweet tea all day. Happy New Year's, hooker. Ah, water with water flavoring. Yeah. High school and wonder why the kids were so bad. Did they? I used to enjoy oh, that's so good. And their the red, white, and blue popsicle cheese that they have of that. I used to love school lunches, but I think it was Michelle Obama that changed the school lunches. Oh, I am a huge birch beer and red cream soda, but red cream soda is hard to find. Love it. Love birch beer. Pennsylvania birch beer is the best, Jay. The best. Polish, we're like twins except for the zero because ain't nothing zero about me except for my bank account. Okay, we ain't put no Pepsi zero, nothing. No. Oh, I love me some. I love Southern style sweet tea. Actually, there's a what the hell is it called? Why am I drawing a blank right now? There's a particular tea around me, Swiss Farms, and they everybody calls it tea cooler where I'm at, and it's so bad for your teeth. But you have to drink it through a straw. That's the only answer. But everybody in my area is like addicted to tea cooler. 2 liters of Mountain Dew a day. Wow, that's really sad, Tammy. Oh, Jinx, I hear you. I hear you. You like brisk? I don't care much for brisk. Hey, Gladys. Good morning. Sugar and tea is not for me. Gary. Queen Bella, I didn't see you come in. Hi. Smart water. The hell is a smart water? You don't want to try UK soda. Sugarless shit. I paid 150 for a single can of American Dr. Pepper or cola as it still has sugar in it. The best soda I've ever had was in Punta Cana. Best soda ever. Like Mexican soda is so good. I don't like pink lemonade. You lost me there. Oh, do we have trouble in the chat? Trouble in the chat. Oh, I love French vanilla cappuccino. Have you had legitimate Southern tea? Or it's probably pretend stuff, to be honest. Probably pretend. Hey, Terry T. Happy New Year from Australia. Not staying, just wanted to let you all know. Oh, I'm sorry you have to leave. You can't beat a good latte. I love water. When I lost taste due to C19, I knew because I couldn't taste my water. People told me water doesn't have taste. Actually, it does. There's definitely different tastes to water. Is not cut. Well, I don't like that kind anymore, cheese. I do not like that kind. Let me make that very clear. We are talking about two different types of Coke here. Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. Oh yeah, you're in the future. Well, good night. I hope you had a fantastic New Year's. I have to make my own sweet tea. I don't like you don't like it? I don't know how to make it. My grandmother used to make the best sweet tea. She did it like where it boiled outside in the sun, like the sun heated it up with the tea bags. It was so good. Monster Orange Dreamsicle. I'm not a Monster person. I unfortunately drink Red Bull, which is not good for you. Pickin' Daisies. What a beautiful name. My coffee has arrived. I could go for a coffee. Is it too early to put you guys on hold? Packaged sweet tea is shit. Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to go find some tea plants? And how the hell are you making your own sweet tea out here? Sun tea is good. It is good. Is that the actual name of it? Is sun tea? Sun sweet tea? Mexico uses the old formula for Coke and it contains sugar. Here, Coke is made of corn syrup. That is the difference. No more. There was nothing more refreshing. And at the resort, the sodas were free. Matter of fact, the people on the beach that would like sell things, the guy traded me for the sodas from the room. But because they're expensive there, obviously, but nothing was more refreshing than cracking open that soda. Their Sprite, their orange soda, everything just tastes so much better. It was so good. Loved it. But I am going to place you all on a quick hold. I wonder if I'm going to lose. I'll probably lose the monetization for today's stream playing this, but that's okay. All right, I am back. I told you all there are 2 times. Well, there's more than 2 times, but I get very emotional, and it is absolutely New Year, and, really quick, let me show you guys this. This had me in tears earlier, but really it did, it was so beautiful. I already lost the ad revenue from today's stream given that I just played that song, which oh, well. Guys, listen to this,
When he
and don't
says
cry.
"pum-pum-pum-pum," I
It's my
can't. Oh
favorite
my god.
Christmas song to begin. Look how after his mom cheered him on, he got all the confidence in the world. I absolutely love this song, love it, and it's so beautiful she did it with her son. But look at that. As soon as she praised him, he felt so confident. Isn't that beautiful? That was so beautiful. I loved it. Oh my goodness. Um, and it made me think of a few things. So I received a few comments this morning. One I found really ironic. But one comment is saying that I'm responsible for whatever Nicolina does. Now that would be absolutely ridiculous. I'm not responsible for anybody and what anybody does. Um, which is why I had this banner going across my panel. Just because it happened on my panel doesn't mean I agree with everything that was said, but nonetheless, I don't care. I'm not responsible. But somebody also commented that it was Nicolina who pretended to be CPS. I don't believe it. And even if she claimed it was her, it wasn't her. We know exactly who it was, and they later owned it was them. Then the fact that I have to acknowledge this right here takes the cake for me. There were 2 comments that I found to be very funny in somebody's stream last night. One was, and once again, I'm not gonna break it down for the idiots in the back of the classroom, but you just hear it for yourself and hear how stupid you sound. GW claims she is Jewish, but had a Christmas wish list. Jewish people don't believe in Christmas. Welcome to 2023 as we enter 2024, idiot. A quick Google search will show you how stupid you sound. Secondly, Retro says GW reminds me of Casey Anthony. They both are pathological liars. The fact that you're writing this in a chat room of a woman who actually did unintentionally unalive her child and comparing me to a woman who also had a drug addiction and partying habit that led to the death of her child is really ironic. Secondly, I am so tired. I love when these people call me a pathological liar, but they can't paint out what it is. Paint out what it is that I lie about. Like I'm showing receipts back to back. Show me receipts. Okay, show me receipts. Pathological liar. Your friend literally lies about what day it is. So, there's that. I just wanted to knock those 2 idiots out of the way. Not only that, but this person, like 2 months ago, was like, "Hey, Granny. Hey, Granny. Hey, Granny. Hey, girl." You know what I mean? And it's like, you people are just so silly, so silly. So yeah, I just wanted to get those out of the way. You literally need a break from YouTube if you're seeing uh people who went to jail. It's so funny. It is so funny to me. One of my favorite Instagram gardener accounts is run by Joe Schwellman, and she decorated for Christmas. Yeah, these people, you can't help them. You can't help them. And I'm not looking to help them. I just think they're funny and ridiculous. But there was also a lot of ridiculous things in there. Yeah, this is the woman who says she doesn't use filters, but these people are just, it's funny. It's funny to me. I bang them out with receipts. They can't bang them out with receipts. Jehovah's Witness that don't believe in Christmas or birthdays. Well, this person's whole entire internet uh, presence is based on hate in another male creator. And so I expect nothing but that type of stupidity from that chatter, honestly. But it's like if you're that on you're trying to catch me up in something, but you just show your ass every time. And there was a lot of asses shown yesterday. Yay, thank you, Tracy. Please do. Terrible people out here, kind of sick of it. Can't imagine how you feel. Well, Copa, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you in private how I feel, because we're about done. Well, I'm sorry. He's like, wait. Yeah, Christian. Yeah, so I must have misspoke yesterday and I said Catholic priest. I understand Jewish people can be Catholic. That is not what I meant. I don't know much about religions, but I do know your Jewish father cannot be a Christian priest. So, no, there's not solely. They just want to make it a problem so they can keep spewing their anti-Semitic comments. And anything to justify bigotry, 2023, 2024, And by the way, I did tell people I would start striking. I did strike last night and I was successful in it. You're lucky I didn't wait until you put up more and struck all together and you'd lose your shit, your channel. I was very kind. That was my warning to you. If you want to keep doing this thing, we can do this thing, but I am striking back. I'm definitely striking back. Right. Go over and ask them questions. They won't say anything. Just send you to other channels and to ask others about their stories with Granny. I want evidence, not words or one-sided screenshots. Thank you, B-Fam. Thank you. And while you're doing that, you should ask why both of them supported me. One for almost, 2.5 years. The other for well over a year. Because while all those supposedly horrible things that they're now showing you was going on, that was my right hand. So what does that say about you? If you want everybody to believe I'm so horrible, well then, what does that say about you? Right, exactly, Amy. But you're talking to a room of bigots, so you're not really going to get any, Jinx, thank you so much. Anybody who can sit in a room of somebody who's repeatedly doxing people, especially innocent people, I said last night, and I'll say it again. I know people are losing their arms are up in the air over the channel called In Their Own Words. I don't even think we need in their own words. I think we should look at in their own actions. Okay, because actions speak a lot clearer than words do, and words ever will. Jewish celebrates 1225 years before Christ. And that's why that day was chosen. Interesting. Oh, I got the hiccups. Hold on. Thank you, LTF. I wish nobody would give them views, but I know people are curious creatures. But you're not allowed to ask any questions. You're not allowed to talk. Oh, I'm so doing that, as I've done for a while now. And look at me now. I know the person made it very clear. First off, the most views they get is when they put my name in the title, and that's fact, right? And they're going to do that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to allow their bigotry, their anti-Semitic, their racism, and everything in between. And I'm also going to take note of who's supporting it. Okay? That I'm also going to do. Hey, Jet. So let me show you guys this. So I tuned in the other day to this channel. Hold on. Connection's fairly good. Connection's unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging into your router or moving closer. What the hell's going on? Don't play with me right now, internet. Don't play with me. Can you guys hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if I'm coming through. It's popping up that the internet's really bad. When isn't it bad, though? And I pay for a secondary, and I'm connected to the router right now. I don't understand this shit. I'm so tired of this janky-ass internet. All right, you guys can hear me. All right, cool. Thank you. So I tuned in over at the ship. Not the ship. Yeah, they are the pirates. The pirates. I tuned over at Savage Media Live, and I found it to be an interesting discussion.
And I've seen that already. So you need to knock that off. Okay, he was in there. You need to knock that off. I mean, for real. All right, here we go.
You know what happens inside your body when you eat fast food? New research suggests that most people have up to 8 undigested meals in their gut.
But let's see, what else on my list? Oh, the way everybody's going, I have a question, Laura, perplexed. The way y'all are going after Queen Bee, I don't see anybody going after Savage. Savage has gone real live 2 times. Queen Bee was like on the phone watching it. She's gone twice. Once to a 7-Eleven for Dolly, and then she went to Mom. I don't see y'all all over there making a huge deal. She took Toys for Tots. Where's the...
First of all, Val, feel free, you know. Me going,
yeah, I'm gonna let you two handle the toys.
I want to know how much I'm supposed to, because you know it's funny because nobody wants to say shit about what people do to me, but when
now I will feel how you feel about Savage, but I will say that it's been like a 2-way street going on. Like she's had shit done to her, she does shit done shit, you know what I mean? Like everybody, and that's why I haven't done it. That's why I haven't done it, because that's what people remember, right? Like I can come on here today and dox these pieces of shit like I've been dying to do and teach them how it feels. But a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, that's what people will remember. They'll remember that I doxed them. They won't remember why. They won't remember that they doxed me a million times first, that they doxed my family, my friends, my kids, but they'll remember that I doxed. And that is the only reason. That's not the only reason. There's several reasons, but that's one of them. Please don't judge me. I'm there for a different reason. Okay, Colin. I'll side-eye the fuck out of you, to be honest, but all right. All right. So, that's just, you know. Well, Jinx, I stepped myself out of character. I allowed them to get me to a place that I didn't want to get back to. And, yeah, I had to revisit myself, my step works, and figure out why I allowed them to get me back there. You won't know that I mind. Anyway, I don't like Savage because she won't leave certain people alone when they're absolutely not doing anything. This live was decent, though. I watched a few minutes of it.
I've had enough and enough and enough and enough and enough, and I go try to confront somebody face to face. Oh, it's a huge problem. I'm a real lifer. Honey, you are a real lifer. Look what you did to a family. You went all up in their real life, and you have the nerve to talk about me after you know what those 2 people that I did roll up on have done to me on this platform. Not to mention putting police in my house, going after, you know, my grandchild. I mean, I get tired of having to say that because I feel like I'm putting her out there as a shield in front of me, you know, because I've been told that quit using people bring my grandchild up in here. I do not.
Now, that is infuriating when I've had people bring, I mean, it is. And until you're in that situation, you don't know how you'll respond. You just don't. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you. We all need a timeout at times. Absolutely. Hey, Trixies, good morning. I've been subbed to these people for so long, but I've rarely watched a live.
But I'm the bad guy if I have to respond to it. Make that make sense. I'm just supposed to sit over here and just take it and take it and take it and take it. Right?
Well,
right?
Let me explain something.
After I'm invited.
Right. All that with Dolly, right?
Jordan,
now, this was fucked, and I'm actually going to get it off my screen, but she did put it up on hers. So her child should not be placed on here. My understanding, though, is that PJ did it because they brought Dolly's brother here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you, Killshot. You're too good to us. Thank you so much. Facts. I take a lot and alliance this one cross the line. Once the lines cross this on. Right, true crime. The internet is terrible. They want people to be accountable, but won't let people grow. Showing screenshots from 2 to 3 years ago when someone has already apologized and showed growth. Thank you for acknowledging that. Yeah, I can't go back and change shit, right? I can't do that. Happy New Year's lighting their way home. Hey, Nikki. But what I can do is continue to show that I'm not who they're trying to make me to be. As much as I want to be that person, just for one day, just one day. One day would do me well. But you know, all right, fine. I won't.
You like that, Heels? You like that? Keep sharing people's pages on YouTube that's doing grimy shit like that. But you're supposed to be a good person. You're supposed to be a good person? Really? You had everybody fooled. You grimy fucking snake. That's what you are.
Happy New Year, Met Primo. Met Primo. What a gorgeous photo. At least you're not who they are and they'll stoop to their levels. Yeah, I try really hard. I like the idea that that person was like, they doxed that, so I don't give no fucks anymore. I'm going to do. No, you've been doing it. Shut up. Shut up. All right. Not about that.
And I'm sorry that don't nobody that like that don't like it. I don't care. I don't care.
That Heels did not want trouble with Savage, didn't want to fight back and forth, didn't even want to call her out, she said. So there's that.
All right. So I believe it was here.
Right,
There was a really good conversation on this panel.
Can y'all see that? I'll make it full screen. Hold on.
Oh Lord, I can't see that.
You can't see that?
You want me to read the first part of it then?
Yeah, just read it out, Shabby. We'll go through
Okay,
that.
I'll cover the parts of it that we talked about this morning. And it starts out, we've seen it over and over again when law enforcement releases information to the media. Written autopsy reports are included, but never autopsy photos. We get the drawings of bodies showing wounds, but not actual photos. At trial is where the autopsy photos are shown to the jury. When those trials are live streamed, the public seldom sees the autopsy photos because they are not nice. Medical examiners explain the autopsy. The photos are not left to the opinions of lay people. That, however, did not stop a blogger from not only obtaining autopsy photos, but also giving her opinion about what they show and challenging the mother of the dead teen to prove her wrong.
I know you guys can read and see, but the title here is Reports on a Cyber Harassment Blogger. Cyber Harassment Blogger, a news article. Did PJ come in? Hey, Craig, good morning. I see you saying hi, but I don't see. Hey, Mustang Sally. Thank you. Same to you. Yeah, UK has a lot of different laws than we do. And actually, I wish we would adapt those laws. It is way too easy to invade somebody's privacy here. And it is sick. Hey, Mrs. Lee. Holy crap is right. Hey, Nina.
The video on the link for WCTV, which is the local station there, reports that they reached out to the blogger, but have not received a response. I urge you to watch the video. It includes an interview with Kendrick's mom, Jackie Johnson. Kendrick's mom told WCTV that she blocked the person with the blog on Twitter after constant harassment and doesn't know why this person is attacking her family. Maybe Black Butterfly 7 can tell us why, and this is the one that's doing this blog here. 17-year-old Kendrick Johnson was found dead on January 11th, 2013 in Loudness High School gymnasium in the state of Georgia. His body was rolled up in a gym mat. A preliminary investigation and autopsy concluded that the death was accidental. Johnson's family had a private pathologist conduct another autopsy, which concluded that Kendrick died from blunt force trauma. Most people first hearing about the case and seeing the photos of the gym and the mats realized that Kendrick's body could not fall into a tightly rolled up jet. That was.
So I don't know how many of you are familiar with that case, but there was a lot of discussion going around that case if, self-inflicted, that he was N-worded. There was a lot. And what this article is stating and what they're saying is that Heels was the first. This is a blog, not an article. So what they're stating is that Heels was the first to get her hands on the autopsy photos. That's what the mother has accused Heels of doing. Yeah, Actually, a lot of creators covered that and showed those photos, you dirty hooker, a lot. Hey, Kathy Pay. That is a blog, not an article. Please find an actual article. This one was deleted. Well, how'd they find it if it was deleted?
Was closely placed beside other gym mats. And then it goes on down here. It's only
social media platform and degrade this child. Who are
Right.
you?
That's what I
Ask
want to know
me
what the motive
again
is.
why
It was a sad one.
Ask me again why I don't want
Got
us
it.
over here on you on this channel over here.
Fearless leader. Oh no, Gary. Don't put me on that pedestal. But
You were right up under
I'll
us.
give you a hypothesis. I'll give you a good hypothesis.
I'm
You know,
sorry, Jinx.
They all met
I'm
up and they were
sorry.
down at the laundries. That's where Betty and Molly and JLR, I think, originally met up at.
Thank you.
He
That's what
was
Gil's just said.
coming over into
Go.
this area. Betty was over into this area. She's been a character, in my opinion, just my opinion, not Savage's, not Val's.
I do recall it being a political mess. I believe. I do remember. I believe it was the same. Well, I don't. I'm not for certain, but I believe it's the same year that the Black Lives Movement started really kicking up.
The whole time. She's played this little character, and she did a really good job because she could keep an eye. She could keep a very good eye on JLR because there is, the information out there, that she has,
We
So Miss Mo ends up getting up there, and she's very upset by all of it. I believe Miss Mo's your friend, right, Heels? And she was really upset. It was really sad to hear her that upset. Let me go to this other clip to show. Well, I guess I could do it here. It's just going to be harder to hear. Flavor comes up here. All right, right here. Thank you so much, Jor. Happy New Year to you. You are in the future, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, I'm dropping.
The parents asked for the
All
message
right.
to be
I'm
released.
going to do it fair. Here we go. Hello.
Hi, I just got here.
Okay.
This thing with Tragedy Pimps Exposed, totally wrong. She's been after me since June. What I said, if you watched my live, was all these people coming after Queen. I don't even see how anyone could think you were stealing presents or whatever it was people were saying, the shit people were saying. I don't even get how, but the ones that did, I was saying to them, if that's what you think, why don't you go after Savage? Why don't you go after her for going to a 7-Eleven and Bombshell's house, since you're going after Queen for just watching Aileen? My point was, and I said it in my live, because you're cowards and you have an agenda. I never said I thought shit about any of those things. Do I think it's right to go real life? As far as Toys for Tots,
Now I do get where so stealing presents, yeah. So Savage and her crew every year they raise a bunch of Toys for Tots, and Savage showed her dropping the toys off. She showed the whole steps, all of it. Now I do get where Savage is coming from with this, because like, why else would you compare her and say, why aren't you going after her? You know what I mean? Miss Mo's on her eyes out. That's what is unreal. Point missed entirely. What do you mean, Mama Gladiator? But that's what you were worried about after Miss Mo was bawling her eyes out. That's what is unreal. Point missed completely. I'm sorry, if you could elaborate. I have not, Shabby. I personally have not. You do donate. They don't feel like Savage is stealing from Toys for Tots. Why would they go after her? Right. That's what I'm saying. I can see why Savage took it the way she took it, because that's how it came across. Like, Here, let me play that again before we go forward so you guys can see. This is Tragedy Pimps Exposed.
Let the games begin.
This video is fair use. It is transformative and is protected under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, reporting, teaching, and more.
But let's see, what else on my list? Oh, the way everybody's going, I have a question, Laura, perplexed. The way y'all are going after Queen Bee, I don't see anybody going after Savage. Savage has gone real live 2 times. Queen Bee was like on the phone.
It's funny you say that. Where are you? Independent Heels. You don't know a channel that allows Nicolina to sit on their panel, attack a mom of deceased child. Any explanation? It's amazing how some trade in one creator for a worse one. Who did I trade in? I traded in who? Who did I trade in? Independent thinker. Why don't you just be honest that because the Hive decides they don't like me, you don't like me? Secondly, allows a, do you know how many mothers and people that woman has attacked? So because she lost a child, she's off limits? Was my friend who lost a child off limits to that woman? Of course not. You think they gave a fuck what my friend went through when they were doxing her? Of course not. She's not off limits because she lost a child. The fuck out of here. So she could come on here and dox. She could come on here and go real life. She could come on here and threaten people. She can come on here and contact husbands and contact jobs. And she's off limits because she lost a child? That's your logic? Fuck out of here. Absolutely ridiculous. Off limits because she lost a child. Fuck out of here.
Watching it. She's gone twice. Once to a 7-Eleven for Dolly, and then she went to Mom. I don't see y'all all over there making a huge deal. She took Toys for Tots. Where's the outrage?
So is that part. And I believe that part was a misunderstanding. She took Toys from Tots. Where's the outrage? That was the part that actually got Savage outraged. And Savage felt like she was doing that based on the fact that she was trying to get her attacked. That's what Savage says. Dolly fighter, dipshit. I think what was supposed to be the point was that Savage did all this dirty ish to all people all year, and then they do Toys for Tots to make up for it. Nah, I don't think her going real life's cool at all. All right, I see what you're saying. Dolly invited her. There's no better lesson on something than shame. Didn't ask Nicolina about anything. I was the one to introduce Nick to TT and her fuck shit. Why are people acting so righteous when I seen people while out on Cube, I'm assuming you mean QB's panel, and she too says, I'm not responsible for other words or actions. Eileen, picking winner and losers again. Yeah, I'm not responsible for any other adult on this internet. I am responsible for myself. That's it. That is it. I'm not responsible for any other bit of anything. And I don't believe just because somebody lost a child, that gives them a right to do all the fuck shit she has done. Yeah, but then she, well, okay, Stanky put in. All right. So, yeah, there's that independent. If your name's independent thinker, you should be an independent thinker. Really, truly. Just like somebody's name is truth teller, they should be a truth teller. Okay. Okay. So that was just that snippet.
say
7-Eleven for Dolly, and then she went to mom. I don't see y'all all over there making a huge deal. She took toys for tots. Where's the outrage?
okay.
I believe it was an unfinished thought. I'm with you, Coop going poop. But I can see why Savage took it that way. I can see that. Bombshell screen pulled up. Someone pulled up. End of. What is the problem? Personally, I like Nicolina. Exactly. Even I know this. I want to put myself in a position where people want to do things back at me. If it's good enough for her, it's good enough to get back threefold. Well, yeah, there's a saying, right? If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. That's what I think. No. You're completely wrong. Again, independent thinker. With utmost respect, you were so wrong. First off, recent ones that exit the hive and came to your channel. Some of these people have been coming to my channel for a very long time. It's not because they exit the hive. Let's get that, please get that understood. Secondly, doesn't excuse baby here using their child's death. Nobody used the child's death. They used her record, which is what she's used against many. She's used that against many other people. Everybody's record or everybody's situation is attached to a tragedy. Hers happens to be attached to one of the worst. It doesn't make it off limits, especially what she has done. Are you aware of her behaviors? Independent thinker, are you aware of that person? I am neutral. I adore PJ and Dally. I like Savage JJJ. Bomb. Do I think there are three sides to the story? Hell yeah. That's the same, Lutens. Bomb didn't screen pull up. Savage kept threatening it, and Bomb finally said, fuck it, if you're coming, come. Being a smart ass because she was pissed off. It was a shit show, but because Bomb is okay. Ignoring them don't work. They just push harder. Taking your power back and speaking up their lies is the only way. Your purse speaks for herself. Stay strong, Jess. We have your back. I stand with Granny. Thank you, Boo Berry. 23 months. 23 months. Have any of them had anybody support them for that long? No. My opinion, but hate makes them a hive member. Will accuse me of doing that. I don't even hate you. You came in my chat yesterday trying to start problems with me. I've always been welcoming to you. I've always been kind to you. What makes you think I now hate you? Would you like to take a link, independent thinker, and we can talk about this? Because it's really hard to do this from the chat box. I have no reason to hate you. I hate that you're not looking at the overall picture. I hate that you are taking snippets and trying to make them problematic. That's what I hate. I hate that people out here can do the worst, most disgusting shit and then get sympathy on a situation that they don't deserve sympathy on. I hate that. Well, my narrative is going to carry on, so. Hey, Tiny Dancer. Lord is right. Bless it. Been around since Watson. I stay close to. And there's more enough to go TT without saying ish about the situation with the daughters, my thoughts. And there's enough to go after me without bringing up my relatives. There's enough to go after subscribers without their doxes and their loved ones and going at people's jobs and contacting husbands. You're right. There is enough. There is enough. But at what point is enough enough? The fact of the matter is she lied about the situation. It's not about the child. It's not a damn thing. Never even said the child's name. It's not about the child. It's about the lies. It's about the judgment on others when she herself is a felon that resulted in the worst kind of tragedy, but has the nerve to sit up there and act like she's some moral figure and has the right to judge anybody else, whether it be by their records, their living style, or their record or their parenting. She has no right. No right at all. If she didn't want that coming out, then she shouldn't have done it to others.
So that to me sounds like Heels is saying she took toys for tots.
And you know what, independent thinker, if you're going to hold me accountable for what is said on my panel, then we're going to do the same for everybody else, okay? How many times I have heard, I'm not responsible for what they said on my panel. Yeah, facts. Gaslight, manipulate, go to chest spinning narrative. Well, I'm done with that, so. What's that have to do with anything? Exactly, Moon. Wait until they're on the receiving end. We'll see how well they hold their cool too. So I believe this is it. The rest is just TPE talking.
On my list. Oh, the way everybody's going, I have a question, Laura, perplexed. The way y'all are going after Queen Bee, I don't see anybody going after Savage. Savage has gone real live 2 times. Queen Bee was like on the phone watching it. She's gone twice. Once to a 7-Eleven for Dolly, and then she went to Mom. I don't see y'all all over there making a huge deal. She took Toys for Tots. Where's the outrage?
I'm going to need receipts that this is true, that Savage took from Toys for Tots. Although you did say Savage took Toys for Tots, where's the outrage? So I don't understand. Anyway, I hope I'm wrong. I do. But
Yeah, I agree, Copa. Thank you, Loki's mom. Happy almost New Year. Didn't Savage take Toys to the place that they were going to, the kids? Yeah, that's why I don't know if I was muted so I could regather myself, Southern Gal. Yeah.
Agenda. I never said I thought shit about any of those things. Do I think it's right to go real life? As far as Toys for Tots,
Let me just ask you all this. I'm going to try to say it as respectfully as I can. And I know it's going to sound really bad. And I don't care. Independent thinker, that woman has gone after my child and another creator's child that are minors. Well, one just turned 18. Has said the most horrific things about them. Has said disgusting things about them. And that's okay. Why? Because mine's alive. Nobody here has attacked her child. Nobody. Not one single person. Actually, there was Tiffany when she was hashtagging that baby's name. There was that. And we all spoke against that.
I have a zero fucking opinion. You took Toys for Tots and you took it to, I don't know, with a drop off or whatever. I got no fucking opinion about that. None. Except for if you're going to be so brave and a whole mob comes after Queen, you're not, it's like y'all used to say, why are you being picky? Go after anybody that does it, but they're too scared to go after you because you'll come back after them. They're more scared of you than they are Queen.
So I do understand Heel's logic there because it's the same logic I've been saying. It's the same thing I've been saying. I feel like I'm easy picking for this mob to come after me because they know that I'm not going to do the shit back. I'm not going to attack her child. I'm not going to dox her. I'm not going to look up her family members. I'm not going to do any of that. So as they sit there day in and day out repeatedly for the past 7-8 months now, I feel like it is strictly on the fact that I won't do it back. So here comes a woman who comes on my panel and she says she'll do it. And now I'm responsible for that. Really? TT has come out here talking to hello, Jess and Lindsay. I was a diehard TT supporter and now I see her. So instead of attacking Jess, go watch her channel. All answers are there. Facts. It's just, I mean, it's just, how much does, whatever. So I get what she's saying here. I absolutely understand what Heels is saying here. And I do believe that there are a few creators that people are afraid to go at because they're known as real lifers. I'm at the point myself where I wonder, is it that bad of a reputation to have if it stops people from going at you the way people have gone and invaded my life and my privacy? Maybe it's not.
And as far as my blog, I have not posted on my blog in 8 years. So whoever's saying that has no idea what they're talking about. None.
Hills, I'll chime in on that. You're hosting the blog, not posting on the blog.
Yeah.
Hosting is different
100%.
than posting. I realize that.
Okay, but you or someone was saying I'm still posting.
No, he corrected
No.
it. He corrected
No,
it.
I did not.
Yeah, I still host it because that was
Someone in the
3
chat
years of
mentioned that it was still
hard
being
work.
posted on. I corrected it. It's being
See, I heard that as well. I thought he did say it's still being posted on. I'm like, it's being posted on. It's not about her being a real lifer. Savage got her name right. She really is Savage. I'd rather have somebody come out with their name being Savage and be Savage than somebody coming out with their name being Truth Teller and being a fucking liar. Thank you, Amber. And that's not what this segment was about. I know they do. And I'm trying really hard, Alicia. Trying really hard. She still pays to keep it active. Is that true, Heels? If we do by that, then everyone's world are going to be fucked up and fucked with. Yeah, I know. I agree. I'm not slamming QB. Who's slamming QB? He said host it, not post it. I do as well. I get exactly what she's saying here.
hosted, not you haven't
Yes,
posted
and
on it.
I'll
You
host
did
it
some
until I die.
cleanup after your live stream because
No,
you
I did
took
no.
off
I did no cleanup. Nope.
the
No
blog
cleanup.
roll is missing. I went and got that today from the word
It's
from the
never.
Wayback Time Machine.
Yes, that's where you had to go because I'd taken it off like a year before because it was only for the current story I was doing. So the blog roll would have been for Trayvon Martin case, or it would have been for the Michael Brown case, or it would have been for the Kendrick Johnson case. If those people weren't talking about that, then I didn't put the blog roll out. That's why you had to find it in the Wayback Machine.
I got a question.
Okay.
Why did you harass a family?
What family?
The family with the little boy.
I haven't harassed any families. None.
Yeah, let me make this very clear because my stream the other day wasn't either. This isn't about QB or the Hive. My stream with Jones and with B10 wasn't about Queen either. Yeah, I think we all have a lot on our plates, to be honest. I have a lot on my plate as well. Clarifying that, I still feel by you comparing Savage QB as a deflection from addressing QB's fake behaviors. I apologize I offend you, not my intention. I remember this article they're about to bring up. I read it before I even knew of this situation. I'd like to know, what does she mean by asking if you read the article? Legit question.
Nope. Then I never harassed Kendrick Johnson.
His mom said you did. His mom said you did.
She sure said I did. And that news article came from the Wayback Machine because it had been deleted the day after it was put up. I'm not going to say why she said it, but I never harassed that woman. That woman, to this day, harasses a family she accuses.
No.
Oh, yes, she does.
That's not it. That's not it.
Okay, show me where I harassed them.
Hills in the air. Everyone knows. Okay, here's a question for you.
No, not everyone knows.
No. You shut up. You don't get to answer the question.
I will say Sinner was asked to go up. He was asked to go up, but while Heels is up there, he should not have gone up. I'm with you, Mystery. It's just my opinion. I think, actually, I think everybody should have been down, and it should have just been them too. But it's not my panel to say. Trying to push that narrative. No one has said anything about her. Just that. Hey, no one you know. Since I follow for children, not drama. Happy New Year, Terry T. Happy New Year to you as well. If people don't like the discussion, they're free to leave too. So there's that. And my Mrs. P's voice. All right. Let's put some lightheartedness into this really quick, guys. Come on.
I find it hilarious. You just are so desperate to wanting my attention. You haters just will stop at nothing. You all must want me to hop in the sack with every one of you. I'll give you some. Come my way. I'll get you in bed. I'll show you a good time. How about that?
All right. So if you need a good time, you know where to go. Now stop. Hey, Megan. You've been here.
Asking questions here. Listen, are you a racist person or not?
No.
You fucking liar. I'm working hard.
Wait a minute.
I'm going to put something real nice to...
Wait a minute, Senator. Shelby, can you pull up what you were reading? Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Let me speak.
Oh,
Can
that
you
sinner.
read the stuff about the strippers and they need to go back to their own country? Can you read that for us right now while she's on the panel?
Yeah, I can read that to her.
And let the audience decide is that seem
Yes.
racist or not. Can you read that?
Yeah.
So let us read that, Heels. Let us read your
No,
word.
can you read it? I never said it.
No. You let us read your word that you stand by.
Sure.
You stand by it. Yeah, and I'm gonna let Chevy read your words to my audience. Okay.
Okay.
So
Fine.
let's cool down. I'm being very respectful. Very. Senator, I apologize. Just hold tight.
It's okay. I'll let this dinosaur racist asshole take her time.
Okay.
Explain. Go ahead, explain,
I'm not
lady.
going to stay up here with him. I don't know why he's up here.
Oh, now you have an excuse to run away, you racist.
No, I didn't come up here for you, Senator.
I'll mute you both.
They all need to load up and move to another country where they tolerate heathens. Iran, even their homeland of Africa would kick their asses out.
Keep reading.
I mean, that's the one quote.
That's extremely racist.
And very.
And that's what heels in the air is.
And they all need to go to their wherever they're going.
I do just have one question, and I don't care if she answers because she's going to lie anyways. That's what she does. How is it that everyone knew that she was a racist, hateful person?
I don't think she even got to answer the question. I know I was multitasking here, but I didn't hear an answer.
Africa would kick their asses out.
I don't know. I don't know if she said it. I don't even know what it is.
Keep reading.
I mean, that's the one quote.
That's extremely racist.
And very.
And that's what heels in the air is.
And they all need to go to their wherever they're going.
I do just have one question, and I don't care if she answers because she's going to lie anyways. That's what she does. How is it that everyone knew that she was a racist, hateful person 5 months ago? I mean, she was really exposed, and somehow she slithered on back into the community, right? Because I guess Queen permitted
history?
it.
My question, okay,
Hey,
Hills, you're muted. You can unmute. But my question is, okay, how long have you followed her, Senator?
Can I answer his question first?
She just asked me a question. I've been following her since about 2 or 3 months before she was basically shunned away for being a hateful, racist person. I used to enjoy your videos. That's the truth. But now, the more I learn about her, the more I realize that she's a fucking hazard to society.
A hazard to society. That's a little deep there. I see you. Hey, y'all. I highlighted you. Sorry. Hey, Charlie Ann.
Like in the worst kind of way, like a real hateful way. And everyone seems to ignore it.
Hateful
I'm not ignoring it.
hazard to society.
Okay, go
Can I answer the other
one I have
question?
for you.
Yes.
Can I answer the first one? Okay. If you're not going to let me answer it, it's wrong. Okay, the first one, there was a video. Did you watch the video? There was a video with what I said. Did you watch it?
Okay.
No, I'm asking if you watched. Oh, you didn't. You never watched it.
Back in July. Yes.
No, you didn't.
What are you fucking talking about, lady? Don't call me a
clown.
The quote was about a video.
I mean,
the quote was not about black people. Huh?
Well, either it's anti-Semitic, transphobic, bigotry, racism as well. So I guess, it's personal choice with that one.
Back to Africa then, Hills.
Did I say I was going to send them back to Africa? Or anyone should
even
know who they were? There was a video above that quote, and that quote wasn't just about
You know
that.
what? You are the best wordsmith.
Okay, if I'm not going to be able to answer, then
I mean, right? You should just, do whatever. You've done this
It's
since
deflection,
the beginning. You did your first lives about this. Anyone ask a question, you delete and block.
Savage, y'all can think I'm racist and go by these clips, and nothing in there said black people should
We
go back
know
to
you're
Africa. But all I
racist.
We're not
wanted to tell
goddamn.
you,
We're not fucking brain dead, Hills. We're not
oh my God.
brainwashed. You can read your shit and understand what you wrote.
Okay.
Amen. It
Stand
doesn't
on
take a
it. You're
weatherman.
while you're over
It
here.
doesn't take a
Because
Okay,
weatherman to
can I
know
ask
which
her
way
a
the
question?
wind blows.
Can I ask her, hold on, before she rage.
I will say that I agree with Kathy. The fact that Sinner keeps calling her a dinosaur, I think if he were to look, and I hate to tie Emmy into this. I like Emmy. It has, but they do have a channel together. If they were to look into their analytics, they would see that by their definition, a lot by his definition, not hers, a lot of his supporters are what he would call a dinosaur. Talk about dogpiling. It's okay to speak to a woman with such vulgarity. Well, here's the thing, Ninja. I don't think it's fair to judge him as a man because us women speak to each other the same way. And statistically, he is in a primarily female community. As a foreigner who pays taxes, works, and contributes, I'm glad some of y'all are not in charge of my citizenship. Facts. You're going to this. There's a video. Well, Heels just answered it. No, I know. I'm saying what video? Like, where's this video? To find it. Stegosaurus.
Quiz, I want to ask you a question.
I'm not
Please,
gonna
y'all,
raise
give me. You're not okay. Good. I'm glad. I hope you can handle it. But I want to know between me and you, why did you even bring my name up? I haven't talked about you at all.
I brought it up because I just told you. I was trying to say that because I'm trying to.
Why savage?
Why
Savage, Hills? Why savage?
Why
savage? Why savage? Do you know how many people on here are doing crap? Really, really bad crap on here? Why savage? Why her?
Let me know when I can answer.
I'm waiting.
Okay, well, I was answering. See, I just said because people are afraid of you. I'm not. I don't know who. Well, I don't know a bunch of people that go real life. That wasn't even the point. My frame of reference.
You know yourself.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't go real life. I never gone real life.
The hell you didn't go real life when you attacked that family. Are you nuts?
Yes, exactly.
Let me ask you something, Hills.
Hold on, may I say something here?
I've ever attacked the Lord.
Sinner, listen, be quiet. Did you or did you not publish autopsy pictures?
Yes, I published 2, 3. And have you gone to my blog to see what they were or why?
I don't.
It don't matter why.
It don't matter why. It don't
You don't
matter
get to ask the
why.
question.
Absolutely.
It don't
fine.
matter why.
Okay.
It don't matter.
Do you understand that's a problem? You are a tragedy pimp.
Okay.
Hey
You
guys,
realize
I'm not going to do all this. I wanted to
I'm
tell
gonna
you.
I'm gonna jump.
She really isn't getting a chance to answer. I sincerely loved Heels until I read her blog. The Kendrick Johnson case was very dear to me. If you do question someone, they should let her answer. I agree with that. Too many women think they can be disrespectful as fuck and not get the same energy. I would say she went her life in the worst way. Delusion is real. They clearly didn't want her answers. Heels pulling a constant so. I don't really get that reference. I enjoy the company of the superior gender. When Heels has went real life. When has Heels went real life on YouTube? Savage should have taken better control of the panel. It's a mess. She does try. Savage is upset that her son's picture is being shown on here. Understandable. But yes, she posted my son's picture on a community post. Did she? I didn't know that. What makes me sad about this convo is that most of the people speaking on this are white. We can only empathize, but we cannot truly understand his side on something we do not live through. So many white people try to speak. I know. Gun real life's gun real life. YouTube isn't the only venue. Would she write that blog again? That's what I would ask. I believe she answered that. While she's here, not sure I can sit for hours. Woo. Just because she posts her kid, don't give permission for weirdos to post them. I agree with that. It was impossible for Heels to answer their questions. Sorry, if women wish to speak to other women in certain terms, fine for me. No, it's not. It works in other groups. The letter to the mother is disgusting. I'm sorry, it made me cry. The family one is all topsy pics shown. right? If you ask a question, you need to listen for the answer. She didn't let her answer. She went real life and Kendra case. She's got Sinner's record, Dolly info. She didn't agree with the creator. That can be educational. It would be boring if everyone has to agree. I'm just saying what I'm thinking. After they were leaked, just because it's done behind the scenes doesn't mean it's not real life. Did Heels answer? Not true. Which part? All right, let me go up. She went, she went real life part. She said not true. In my opinion, she was not given an opportunity to speak. Heels cannot see any unconsciousness bias in her statements.
Jump down, guys. I just have to say one thing before I go. Savage, Savage, thanks for having me up.
Please stop being disrespectful to people that went through the Holocaust by calling me Heil Heels.
Yeah, I agree with that because he is calling her Heil Heels, and he does write in the chat why he's saying that, and he's saying because she's like a Nazi. No, that's like that's such an unfair comparison. And I agree. I don't like anti-Semitic comments, which is why I don't like the fact that I keep being called a hook news. And I don't think anybody should. Bro and Hell, I'm happy to see you back after the comment of you saying you'll never be back. Thank you. Welcome. I don't believe she actually got sent a record. She may have received it, but I believe someone else searched out the record. That's possible. But she would have to say that. I hate Heel's blog. I think it's garbage propaganda, but being called a racist by Savage is laughable. Why? Dick. Don't care why is gross and unacceptable. That is real life. Yeah, I think that's such an unfair comparison. That is not fair. There's no reason, none at all. It is so harmful to an entire group of people, and I don't even think Sinner realizes that.
That's disrespectful, not to me, but to other people.
What are you talking about? I didn't say that.
Indigenous
No,
people.
she says it. Sinner says it all the time.
Thank you, Corinne.
Well, that's Sinner. That's you and Sinner's beef. That
Well,
has
that's
nothing
who I
to do
was
with
talking
me.
to.
Well, he's gone now. He left. Now it's between me and you. I still want to know.
Nicolina may be dangerous, but so is TT, bro, and hell. Respectfully, if a victim feels victimized, it's not on us to respect their feelings. Family felt victimized. That should be owned and behavior stopped. Well, that's like the same thing when it comes to that family that said they didn't want voices to advocate for them anymore. That should just be respected. That right there, like, period. There shouldn't be any discussion. There shouldn't be any, back and forth. There shouldn't be any buts or, nothing. Just respect the family.
Why did you try to incite hate on me?
I didn't.
I haven't spoke on you, Hills.
I didn't try to. Savage, a lot of people say, you're just too chicken to go after Savage. When they have a problem or they have some problem with you, people always say to them, well, you're just a coward. That was my point. Well, I don't know. I get it all the time. Oh, God.
No,
Name
somebody.
The one person that doesn't go after you is me. I had your fucking back for almost 2 years. Go back and look at my videos all the time.
Bitch, did I ask
so
you
to sit here and think I'm going to go like
I built your
against you is
channel. Remember
crazy.
that? I built your channel. Remember?
You didn't build my channel, bitch.
That's a
what are
lie.
you talking
That's
about? You didn't build my channel. No, you didn't.
I didn't know you from fucking
Oh
Adam.
my God.
No,
You
let
have
me
got
finish.
to be kidding me
Can I
now.
finish? Hello, can I finish? It is my shit. Can I finish?
Sure.
Can I make a
Sure.
Absolutely. I'll mute
Absolutely.
you. Okay, well, be quiet.
I don't give a fuck.
I know you don't, honey. So
go ahead, Savage.
Hush up. Hold on. Let me get my point out, then you can speak.
I don't think I don't think Heels was saying it in the fact of like, I think she's saying it like, when others were against you, I always had your back and now you're against me type of thing. I think that's the way she was saying that. Yeah, I can't stand when people say, I built your channel. And my only reason for that is Heels made great videos. Did she advertise her channel? Yeah. But this is why I don't want people advertising mine and I don't advertise others. There's always somebody waiting to say, I'm the reason your channel grew. And I have grown many channels that now talk about me. So that's why she went after Savage, because her feelings are hurt. They felt some type of way about the blog and stopped rocking with her. I don't know. Well, or is it reversed, the good Nunya? I don't know. Because others are pointing out, why didn't they speak about it till now? So that's a good question, but I don't know.
Booker, we didn't even know who the hell you were. We were on a mission to go after tragedy pimps. Point blank. There were several channels that came together and collectively did a thing. We made a movement. You come in the mix. I shared out Queen. I constantly shared out you. I shared out general awareness. I constantly shared out Joneson. I thought that bitch was with the cause, but she wasn't, of course. Anyway, I did all that for you, bitch. And then when I found out you a whole racist and you are a tragedy pimp. You are a tragedy pimp for real. You don't understand. I don't know what kind of medicine you're on. When you go and you harass a family in real life that has lost their family member by you writing blogs about them, talking shit about them, that makes you a tragedy pimp. Because how much did you make on your blogs? How much did you make on your blogs, Vicky? Huh?
I agree with I get what you're saying, Nikki. Heels never went after Savage. Her comments were an example of hypocrisy. I get what you're saying, but I also can see why Savage feels that way. Like, I can see why she feels like, oh, why would you try to get people to go after me? Where I can see that Heels is saying, no, it was an example that these people, I get both. I get both. Is it true? Well, here's the thing. Everybody's made money. Even the anti-tragedy pimps have made money. But Heels says she made zero on the blogs.
You did it for money, and you still got them up. You ain't ashamed of it. You stand by it, like you said. I stand by it with your 10 toes down and your whole chest. So that means to me, you don't regret nothing you say. You ain't regretting nothing you fucking wrote about anybody. You are a tragedy pimp. Your tragedy pimp ass came over here to the ones that were fighting against the tragedy pimps because of your love affair with JLR. Wrong or right? Wrong or right? You can unmute. I ain't going to unmute you. You can unmute.
She says she didn't make any money. Hey, Hicks. Yeah, she's absolutely saying she didn't make any money off of it. It's actually two things at play. I do agree Heels was used as an example, but Savage seems hurt by being kind is lied to about her identity. I've been saying that too. There's a very fine line. Very fine line. Facts. JR love affair. Ever since Betty said that, people are running with it, that Heels and JR had a little fling. People are saying that.
No, I wasn't going to unmute since you muted me. Okay, well, I don't know what your deal is telling me my love affair with JLR, but the rest of it, the tragedy pimps that I was going after was my. Okay, bye.
Because we didn't know where the fuck you were, who you were, where you came from. Goodbye, bitch. Goodbye. Now you done got me fucking pissed.
Well, now you saw what she really was worried about.
Screenshot it. People are screenshotting that one, Heels. Dear person, emotions are high. Maybe take a couple of days off. JR gets some play out on these streets. Hell. But yet these so-called tragedy pimps are still here and all making money. Yeah, the movement didn't quite work. I do understand that she is proud of her work, but she does not recognize that today her work is hurtful. It's unfortunate, but she gets to have her opinions. Right before you wrote that, she did write this. I am proud of my research, not the way some of it was written. JR. All right. Have you read her blog? I have not. If you haven't, to see why some of us are not happy with her, including a link she posted to white supremacist blogs and interviews she did with Milo. Who is Milo? Research usually isn't biased. I don't care about money being made. It's the content of the vlog that matters. Money doesn't change the character of the blogger. Now, it's pretty obvious that this Savage isn't hurt. She hedged her bets, go after QB or go for heels. She chose heels. Yellow. There's no point of even talking on that panel. Nova Reed. So fucking what? That. The research doesn't work when it's based on unconscious bias. Roll up with a bullhorn. Be a Betty. Oh boy. So sick of the hypocrisy and the bloody hate campaigns. Which part's a lie? Hey now, according to BHB, JR's got game. He got hoes in different area codes, yo. He's out here big pimping, spending juice. Reading this blog soon, I accidentally saw autopsy photos though and had to run to the toilet. Ugh. I'm not reading it. I'm subjected to that on a daily basis. I've no need. As long as she owns it and has learned, that's all I need.
Wait a
The very
minute.
first thing that she came
Hold on a minute.
back at,
Well, can
they
somebody
are.
go get that? Can anybody go? People are in the chat, Savage, saying that she shared your son's pic.
Really?
Hey, Savage, it's Sinner again. I apologize for getting hot. I fucking can't stand racist people, especially when they don't even own up to it. I mean, I get hot. I get hot. And plus,
We got Shannon.
her last
Hello,
four
Shannon.
lives were about me, and like she's just a complete turd.
Hold on,
So
man,
everybody in the chat is saying that Heels shared your boy's picture on Twitter.
Really?
And they wanted you to ask her about it.
You've only lost
She
4.
left.
Twitter.
Yeah, I know. I know. I put it in the DMs and then went and found out. So apparently she posted Jordan's photograph on Twitter.
You are a nasty bitch. Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying. She's deflecting. Like, did you not watch the video before? We don't have to watch a video.
Okay, I'm going to pause there because that is exactly how rumors pop off, because all it takes in one chat box is for one person to say something was done and then others repeat it as if it was factual. No, I believe it comes out that she did not share it. But that is how it goes, right? That's exactly how it goes. One chatter says it, other chatters run with it. Hate campaign is the new buzzword. There is always a buzzword of the month, isn't there? And I do believe this is this one's. When JJ jumps up there, he leaves. Savage learns who Sinner is. I believe that part was correct. The subs need to stop being messy. Absolutely.
That was in your own words. That was in your own words.
Absolutely. And what she does is she denies, deflects, and then repeats. And really what it is she's taking all of us for suckers. All the people that gave her first try, second try. No, it's just unacceptable to have such a hateful person welcomed up into a community that are looking out for other people. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, here's the thing. When you talk about the comments she wrote, she asked you if you watched the video she made about it. What? No. We can read, number one, and I don't need a video, accompaniment of your comment. I'm a pretty smart bitch. So, again, Heels, how's the hospice coming? I'm asking for a friend. We're wondering, how's the hospice coming?
Shannon can contest to this. Me, Shannon, somebody is echoing. I don't know who it is, but
me,
Shannon, and Chevy and Pirate. We sat on this. We'd start lives and we'd be like, we ain't talking about it. We ain't talking about it.
Right.
Now this bitch put my name in her fucking mouth. Now we got to talk about it. You see how that works? Now you really looking like shit.
Yeah. 500. Hey RC. Heels is absolutely welcome to a link if she'd like a link. That's rude. Hey Blue Butterfly. And grace to people who show growth and are willing to learn. I am Black. I live a life of racism, but I'm not a victim. I've seen no growth in when it all came out. It's funny, one individual can harass the fuck out of people when that one person gets the same energy back as a hate campaign. This wasn't calling out. Remember, if they will do it to one person, they can do it to all. I think a lot of channels are based on doing this, though, and I think a lot of people have done it.
People in
And
here.
again, why your name?
What would JJJ do?
May I address the question in the comments? Bama G said, Sinner, how many drinks have you had? Bama G, go fuck yourself. I haven't had a drink since Thanksgiving. And saying stuff, talking about somebody that's battling alcoholism is a really shitty thing to do.
You can't be.
So I didn't know that. I didn't know that Sinner battled alcohol. Congratulations on not having a drink since Thanksgiving. That is a big deal. I'm personally proud of you, and I hope that you continue on.
You're talking about me like that up here, man. Respect our channel, man. You can't.
That's interesting.
Sinner, no.
Yeah, don't do that. Earth is back. Hello, Luke, and hello, Earth.
Hey, y'all. How's it going?
Hey, honey.
It's going.
I'm sorry. It's such a night. My goodness.
It's a deep night.
It's a hell of a night there.
It really is. I mean, when you poke and look, this.
Kathy, don't mind if I do answer that. I've said this before and I'll say it again. As far as Sinner and others go, this is their first year on YouTube, and Sinner has gotten a lot of shit. He has supposedly been doxxed. He's been the topic of discussion. It feels very, it changes you when it happens to you, especially the first time. And I do believe in time he will be less angry, but when it's first happening, it's hurtful, man. It is hurtful. Make anybody seem like, an angry person. The true crime community really talks about cases of people of color. Doors, thank you so much. Thank you. There was a common theme throughout the entire blog. It was the denigration of Black people and Black lives. As a person of color, reading it hit different. And yes, I read the whole thing. Well, we've all heard that his docs has been going around and his photo was shown and his work was brought up and criticized. And I feel like he's definitely, I found out that, he's a vet or supposedly not a vet. I feel like he's been doxxed.
This is what we do. This is what this ship is about. Ain't that right, Shannon?
Yep.
We got Shannon up here at 11 o'clock at night. She's sick as hell.
I know, right?
That's why we motherfucking roll. When we bring this shit, we bringing it. But as you know, she rage quit. You can enter the questions, so that speaks volumes. She didn't really clarify anything we were asking.
No, her response was, "Did you watch the video?"
We're just supposed to say, like we're just supposed to say, oh well, you posted a child's picture all over the internet. Oh well. Well, that's what we've been fighting for, to make that illegal.
Exactly.
Okay.
My thing is, y'all all need to realize when you see motherfuckers like this doing shit like this, always put yourself in that family's position. You see a motherfucker over here with a child that's missing, constantly making money, hand over fist, time and time again. You gotta put yourself in that family's position. Like, damn, what if it was my baby that was out there missing, and this fool on the internet is making bank off of them? That was our whole mission when we did the tragic event.
To be fair, Heels has repeatedly stated she did not make any money off of it. Any money. Heels didn't rage quit. No, she didn't rage quit. She couldn't talk. Yeah, she left. Yeah, I don't think she rage quit. Pepsi does suck. It's already flat. That's ridiculous. I've never had boiled nuts, but I want them so bad. I tried one time, and I don't know what the fuck. I just put peanuts in boiling water. Oh my goodness. How many letters and petitions have been sent by this crew? I applaud anyone who draws off panel. If they feel they may say something they will regret, it shouldn't be shamed. Many won't take a link unless it's in a safe place. Facts, Copa. Facts. That whole rage quit thing, you're right.
That was our whole mission. Now people have like fucking lost their goddamn minds worrying about if I'm stealing a fucking toy. Shut up.
Sorry, coming in late, but at the part is a movement. What was a movement? When they had clowns in GA and a child was missing and a Marine veteran was announced deceased, that was a movement. I'm lost. I don't know. This was addressed and looked into many months back. People could have looked into it or not know to get the entire story. If they didn't or trying to catch up, it leaves out details. That's true. Happy New Year's, Christine.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't really. She didn't really say indecisively that you didn't. And that whole statement, you took the toys. No, that's not what
it's like
meant.
she couldn't understand the point. Okay, you were in. Vicky, lean in, Vicky. What you did when you spoke of us over here, especially about them toys, bitch, you could talk about me rolling up on real life motherfuckers all day, every day. I don't really give a fuck. But don't you ever touch them toys for them babies. You hear me? When I showed everything I could. Everything I could.
We have not touched on BK and Ernie and all them yet. I think everyone acting like wild animals on this platform is an issue. The only reason why these people act this way is because they're behind a computer screen. That's true. It does sound to me, hey, Ruby Blue, I do agree that at this point, it sounds like they're upset that Heels said what she said. So they're now bringing out the blog as like a sort of punishment. That's what it sounds like to me. And I know all about people bringing out shit just to punish you.
Could even had a lieutenant and a detective in my house from the fraud department. Don't you think I would have been locked up if I was stealing fucking toys? But for you to use that against me, and let's not forget, I haven't spoke your fucking name. None. So let that marinate. Yeah, I'd be a little. You can't be mad at me for being a little bit ticked off and want to check you real quick. How dare you? At least I did something for some youngins. Nobody over there did. The one.
No, not that I know of. Headstones and headlines. I don't know who said that to you, but I don't think anybody here thought you were trolling. I didn't even see or hear anybody say your name, to be honest. Nonsense in your hands. I'll never forget how the ship treated you. Did they treat her bad? Yeah, I didn't hear anybody say that or write that.
You support ain't done shit, giving away a knockoff Michael Kors bag. Fuck out of here, Hobbit. But you support that, Heels. You support that. Yeah, go ahead. You found your tribe. Just like the rest of the old trash. Gone out of here. The trash always gets weeded out. It just takes a little longer for others. Remember that.
Floats to the top, people.
You knew here.
Just people stop letting her back in. Everything that she has said, I don't care if it's 20 years ago, she still stands by it.
Yeah.
I agree.
You heard her tonight. You heard her
She
tonight.
stands by what she wrote.
Yeah. Tracy says, I took the time to read most of the blog with context. We emailed privately. You do need to have the entire context or what was happening in the very moment with all these cases. Yes, Southern Gal. Hey, Spudler. Happy New Year. Benny B. I'm wondering, I think she's talking about Dolly. Yeah, Headstones, you were not mentioned. Whoever told you that is certain shit because you weren't mentioned. Just know that if you accept the invitation from the ship, you most likely will not be able to answer or make your points. It's a tight click, always was. Maybe give a toy in your area so the kids in your town get a toy. That's all I think. I think it's a great thing, too. Person on the bottom. Who's the person on the bottom? Shannon.
So go ahead with your racist ass, honey. You don't want these kind of problems. Leave me alone.
I would have just the tiniest bit of respect for her if she would have just said, yes, I am, and own up to what she is. And she lied to all of us. No, I'm not racist. Well, what is all this? What are all these writings? SLM producer mentioned releasing the autopsy photos, but that wasn't just the worst of it. once she did that, she came up with her own theory about what happened and attacked the mom. It was wild.
We'll clarify that. No picture was shown of my kid on her Twitter, but she did share the bitch's community post and her YouTube channel where my son was being shown.
So that's to clarify, when people in the beginning were saying, or a little bit ago, people were saying that Heel shared her son's photo, is now being clarified she didn't, but apparently shared a channel where it was shared. Which is infuriating, as those of us who have loved ones being doxxed and people's channels where the doxing are being advertised or accepted or telling people to thumbs up their streams, it is infuriating. Get past how many victims get re-victimized in these communities, things overlooked at the time until personal beef. I always say nonsense. While they might not be talking about it now, they will when they have a falling out with that person. Then they use everything against them. That's always the way it is. Celebrate shit, made money off others, as we all do if you call people out. Having a sinner's record is going real life. People calling others racist, pedos, very dangerous accusations should never be used in hate. Sorry, not sorry. 2023. I don't get passing around of anyone's docs. I would send it from a couple peeps I don't even know. Of course, I deleted it. Didn't want that info in my business. I shared a message to Team 2. Oh, I shared no community posts of PJs. I shared a message to Team YouTube about Peggy. I just got dragged by one of them while they claim community's truth. I have information on a lot of people, real life friends. Doesn't mean anything unless you actually do something. Morally, up to an individual. Legally, there are no thought police as far as I know of. My dinosaur bones are hurting. It ain't happening until it's happening to you. Facts, Betty B.
That's the fucking problem.
Yeah.
And spreading a false information that he was a pedophile. People.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Why is she sharing shit like that?
That's what I'm saying.
Unless you're trying to start drama.
Because she's on the hospital.
If you so against the Hobbit Red Dot Island over there, why would you be sharing his girlfriend's YouTube community post so your people can go sub to her channel and go look down it and see where she's got my kid up.
Parents wanted his face shown because they believe he was beaten. They wanted it shown for that reason. Heels didn't agree, so her blog was the other side of the coin. I felt he was Cade. It was a very controversial case. I think it still is, to be honest. And I know while people are saying he'll share the autopsy photos, I know of other creators on here who did as well. Val is adorable, and I think she's a good person. I wish she would go out on her own. Feels wrong that this is a thing. Again, I never read her blog. I knew Heels as she was when I started following her on YouTube. I've also been a victim of online hate mob. It's the worst. Yeah, me too, Carrie. All right, Stanky Puddin'. Yeah, I think so too.
There. Bitch, hold on. I'm going to get the goddamn picture.
I just need to know why she's in hospital.
With that.
Shannon, yes. Yes.
Is she?
Why would you share that?
Yes.
So right here, it shows that Bombshell shared it, not Heels. Heels didn't share that. Heels shared something differently. But PJ put that up because they put up Dolly's brother. It was like this I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just giving everybody an explanation as to what happened. They were saying that Dolly's brother is a registered P word. Well, when they found out that supposedly Savage's child is, they decided to share his photo. Both are wrong. Both are absolutely wrong.
Shannon, yes.
It's terminal.
Why would you share my youngin like that?
I'm
For
with
real.
you.
No, it's terminal. It's terminal
I don't know
racism.
what the fuck it is. I don't care.
It's terminal racism.
Ain't nothing wrong with her.
Oh, stop.
We wouldn't be up here hollering and screaming if something wrong with her.
Shannon.
Well, I mean, she has no boundaries. She apparently has no boundaries. She showed a child's autopsy picture, and not only that, she weaseled her way up under a channel that was trying and hoping to bring awareness to these laws that are trying to be passed to stop this.
Yep.
Making money on babies, youngins, in their most. I can't imagine the most vulnerable time of a child. Come on, y'all.
Well, these children, let's talk about just two of them, Trayvon Martin, and I can't remember the other boy. I'm sorry, I'm sick. I know it. So she took these two young men who,
Heels could answer that. Were they crime scene rather than autopsy, Heels? It's always wind up like this. Someone will show something, they need to accept the consequences. I'm not judging. I don't know how I would behave. My family would if family would ask me to post it. My understanding is the family was angry at Heels for posting it. I don't know. Heels Savage are entertaining enough to watch for more than a couple minutes. Good morning to you. Who's trying to get laws passed? We should all pass some motherfucking laws. I mean, seriously, with the uprise in social media, laws should be passed. They should. Hard to convey via type-in, Heels. You're welcome to take a link, Tracy. You know more about the situation than I do. Making money off children again, get facts. I think a lot of people have made money off children. Someone yesterday threatened to dox someone while saying, oh shit, where'd it go? While saying their name, especially when nobody knows their real identity. Was it a dox for a dox? Because that seems to be okay. Why weren't they angry when this first came out? Why now? Because Sav found out Heels is friendly to PJ. No, because Heels made that comment asking why nobody's going after Savage. That's why it came out now. I only know what I know from back then, and I get it. I get what you're saying. I just know it's hard to convey in the chat. Like they're allowed to protest when their children missing and a parent did it. Did Heels have an opinion on who was it? Sav Girl and Coops showing autopsy photos. I don't know. Pit movement want to move on to an anti-mommy bloggers. Facts. I agree.
Y'all fired
we know what happened with Trayvon. He was murdered. And the other little boy, why were the sneakers in the rolled mat? I don't know. Something ain't right. But she went after their race, and she went after that, and that is.
Hello.
Hey, sorry, it's hard to convey it in the chat. The whole case, I mean, if you didn't follow it back then, it was really a difficult case. So the parents, once they saw him, they felt like he was murdered. They felt like he was beaten. And back at that time, Heels had a blog, from what I understand. And, there was a lot of controversy around the case. And she felt like, I think, I don't want to speak for her, but that the injuries weren't from being beaten. She was looking at it from the other side as well, from all sides, because the two students that were being accused were former FBI or an active FBI's his sons.
Mm-hmm.
So they were being harassed as well, saying that they were murderers and their scholarships were in jeopardy and all of this other stuff. So that was a whole thing happening online, and it was really toxic. Like even discussing the case on Facebook or anywhere, it became crazy.
And to point out, the boys being accused were white boys, and that whether people want to admit it or not, it played a part. It was white boys and the black victim, or maybe not victim, but you know what I mean.
What I ended up learning from the whole case was when I finally did my videos on it, I was looking at it from one side that he was murdered, but there was this woman, she was the head of the, I want to say NAACP down there, but I could be wrong. I might be stating that wrong. In any case, she investigated it, and she went in with him being murdered and came out thinking it was a tragic accident. And that kind of blew me away because it was one of the last pieces that I had researched. And I was like, oh shit, she's close to this. She's on the ground. She's talking to the parents. She's talking to everybody. And she come out on the other side of it. So in any case, it became a very touchy subject to even discuss. Now, Heel's blog is a whole different situation. She was just looking at it from her perspective, or all perspectives, and then writing about it, blogging about it. So when people found it, or it came to light in this community, some things were cherry picked and put out, and they did show her in a very bad light, very bad. I know I personally was like, what the fuck is this? But then I thought, if you picked out pieces of things that I've said over the years, you might form an opinion about me. So we went back and forth and messaged. And I totally understood, bringing myself back to that time when I was looking into Kendrick's case, of how toxic everything was. So I understood what argument she was making in her blog, or what point she was trying to convey. And people can take it for what it is. You read the whole blog, or you don't, right? You can't just pick out bits and pieces. You got to read the whole thing and have a conversation with the writer, which is Heels. Otherwise, you're not getting the whole story. You're looking at words on a screen, but you're only looking at 200 words instead of 1,000. So you don't really know the whole situation. And I mean, or don't, and just say, I saw enough pieces that I think she's this, and this, but
Where the
you kind
pieces
of
that are
have to, you can't go from liking somebody to despising them based on 3 memes or whatever that you saw. And that's where my mind was at first. Like, I absolutely adored Heroes' videos, and then I saw those little pieces and was like, oh, fuck her. But then I was like, that's not right. What the hell? Where is this blog? I want to read the whole thing. I want to understand. So I could have just read the blog and never talked to her, but that's not right either. Like, you got to have a conversation and understand, well, where was she coming from? What was going on at that point? Why was she writing XYZ, whatever? And then you make your own decision, and that's it. But that's not how things fucking go around here.
So for
They
you,
can pick out any sentence and make you into whatever they want to make you into. Really.
Well, yeah, we see that all the time, to be honest. So what you saw with the context, you don't see it as being this racist, bigot, blah, 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 that other people have seen.
With the entire context, I see that she was on the opposite side of the it wasn't a political debate, it was more like almost a racial thing. Like, she was defending the boys, and because the boys were white, and I don't even think she was defending, let's say their names were Jimmy and Billy. She wasn't defending them specifically as humans. She was saying all of this is happening to this family too.
Are you
And
being racist by saying Jimmy and
aren't.
Billy?
I don't know.
Is there a reason it was Jimmy and Billy? Huh?
Damn it, Jimmy and Billy. Or whatever. I didn't feel like it was overtly racist, like, oh, I hate these N-words. The go back to Africa, go back to whatever, that specific thing was something that really bothered me. And then I went and read the whole thing. It was a rap song or something, and it was showing this twerking dance, and they were trying to say that this twerking dance was a native dance from their homeland or whatever. I mean, her writing about it, the way that she wrote it, didn't look good. But she can probably come up and explain that herself. I'm not up here to defend her or condemn her. I'm just saying I get it, because I remember looking into all of this at the same time. And no matter what fucking side you were on, if you were on Kendrick's side, then you hated, all the other people. But if you were on the FBI kids' side, then you were racist and didn't see that this could happen to this kid. Like it was really weird. Like people were putting you in a box to, like, if I thought he was beaten, personally, I thought they probably killed him. That's
And the
how I
case
felt.
was 2013, right? And isn't that the same year that Black Lives Matters really picked up?
Yeah, there was a lot of that going on. And yeah, Al Sharpton article. So Al Sharpton and all of these other people
2013.
who were like really loud and pushing a specific agenda at that time were out and speaking and protesting and talking. And, she, one of the things that she did tell me is, I can't remember the man's name now, but it wasn't Sharpton, it was another guy, that she was seeing him for what he was. And a lot of her blog was debunking his bullshit because he was out there being like a race baiter. He was out there trying to cause division and taking advantage of these parents and then putting in their mind, yes, this was about racism. Yes, this is about, they want to harm us. So he was causing a ton of division at the time. I remember all of that. It was really, really bad. Ben Crump, that's his name. So she ended up like super looking into Ben Crump, and that was a lot of what her blog was actually about. So, yeah.
So when you're saying context and, the cases,
Yeah.
you're also talking about the political climate that was at the time.
Exactly.
Which
And,
does come into play.
That's important. Yeah, that's very important. And you could come away with it still thinking, no, I don't vibe with heels, period. I don't like what she did. And that's fair too. And I think that was her point. When all of this came to light, she kept saying, just read the blog. Read the blog, listen to what I'm trying to tell you, and then come away with your own opinion. And that's how I think you should do anything. If you're going to talk crazy about a person, read the whole context, talk to the person, and then be like, nah, fuck you. I think you're a racist. Or you might come away saying, oh, I was wrong. And I was talking crazy about this person without knowing the whole thing. Or you may be like, I don't even give a fuck about any of this, but the way that shit happens around here, like you talking about the lady's situation with the fire and the baby yesterday, will come back as it's clipped as Granny talks about babies and she's heartless because this baby passed and she's putting all this information. And it's like, well, did you hear the entire story that she was explaining? Or did you just hear what you wanted to hear?
That was
because you don't
already
like
used
her?
against me. Right. Yeah. Independent thinker already made the narrative clear.
Yeah. See, that's where everything becomes convoluted and screwed up. And it happens all the time around here. I don't know. There's a lot of craziness happening in the chat now. I don't know.
Is there? I wasn't even looking. Can we get the bus moving? Not fed here, hon. I missed something. Well, I feel like I owe heels on the R an apology. I didn't read the entire blog and have made judgments. Thank you for sharing, Jason.
Yeah, I mean the blog was an interesting read, but you also have to remember too, she was on a different forum. It's a crime forum, and she'd been there many, many years. And that case was so toxic and controversial that she ended up starting the blog to take it off of that platform and go over and just have her own platform where she could talk about what she wanted to talk about. Because when you're on Web Sleuths, when you're on there, there are rules and you can't really, you don't want to alienate the people who are on there with you. Like if we had a channel together, you and I agreed with one thing and you agreed with the other, but I kept pushing my view, you're going to be like, all right, listen, you're going to have to fucking start your own channel for this specific topic because you're causing a problem. And that,
Do you know who this Giannis guy is?
Yeah. Monopolis, Giannis Monopolis. Yeah. Milo. Yeah, I know who he is.
Milo.
He was
Okay.
huge. Milo Yiannopoulos. Yeah.
Are you only speaking about the Kendrick part of the blog? What about the others she wrote?
That I mean that it's rough, but her reasoning on that was that she was focused on the Crump dude, you know? So it's a whole there's too much to it, Nunya, to just that's where the overall context comes in, and that's go read it and you can come away with your own views on what you think. But I was just addressing the one that I really looked into, which was Kendrick.
Yeah, and to be fair, that's the one that was like brought up because they're saying the autopsy photos were shown, and here's my thing though, that was brought out. What would it be, like a year now? I think it was summertime. I was down the shore listening to Heel's first video where she acknowledged everything. So why that is being rehashed? It does seem like it is Savage's way of saying, "Well, fuck you for saying that about me. Here, I'm going to use this against you."
Yeah. I mean, which I get, but that's why the context is important. And Milo is very controversial. He's very right leaning. He's a gay guy, but he's right leaning. He's a podcaster, blogger, personality person. I don't know.
And I'm discriminating. I'm independent thinker. You're purple to me. You're a purple avatar. I'm not discriminating you. That is absolutely ridiculous. You came in here and said I attacked a mother's loss, and I did not. That is why your name was mentioned once, sweetheart, once. You don't keep being mentioned. You were mentioned once. My golly, your reputation is true.
Yeah, Milo's a whole deep dive. Very extreme. Yeah.
Very extreme.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yep, he is. I don't know. I think that Heels explaining her views would be a lot easier.
The best way to do it. Yeah, she wasn't really able to speak on the panel. And I was interested in her answers, but she didn't really get a chance to give them.
Yeah, I just wanted to address that Kendrick specifically, not the other people in the blog. It just, she has
and listen, I'm
her
clearly
serious views on that. Like, look, it was about this Crump guy and the cases he handled, and well, it was just. I mean, that's
and
how
as
she
a
feels,
white
how she
woman,
feels.
As a white woman, it's not up to me to say if what she wrote was racist or not, because I don't know.
Nope.
I didn't read it. Two, if a black person says it was racist, then it was racist to them. I'm not here to dispute that with anybody.
Yep, exactly. Yep, it's not we can't even begin to make that judgment.
Right.
But we always try to. That's one of the big things I always say is white people always get in their big ass mouths and this stuff. Like we know, and we don't. Milo went crazy after he was deplatformed. Yeah.
That is important because there's somebody that I used to be friendly with, and they didn't get extreme either until after. Like they weren't like that when I was supportive of them. So if that's the case, that is important to acknowledge that when she did the interview, he wasn't extreme. Yeah. So like holding his beliefs against her for associating with them isn't really fair.
The blog made my blood boil. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there were parts of it that were not, but that's the whole thing. You need to have a conversation with the writer.
Right.
If you're covering it and you're interested in it and you've dropped her a link and she doesn't want to discuss it, well, then people are going to think what they're going to think, right? So
absolutely. Hey, Ellie.
Hey, I just have one thing to ask you guys about all this because we kind of like put this. I feel like a lot of people put this all to rest, like months ago. And where have you ever seen like Heels acting at all racial in any like chats, in any videos, on any panels? Like going back 10 years and analyzing thing with a microscope is gonna like lend to a certain kind of like results because you're so I think this is being brought up again now because people are going after Queen Bee. So like, let's go after Heels again. I've been reading your chat.
I disagree with that. I think it's being brought up because of what Heels said about Savage. So Savage brought it up as her punching bag back at Heels. It doesn't have anything to do with Queen.
And then everybody else jumped
No,
on there again.
I don't feel like it.
I don't know. That's what it seems like. A lot of people that are going after Heels are people that have been going. And now in your chat, reading through your chat, like that's what it seemed like to me. I don't understand why this is coming
They were
up
talking
again.
about Queen in the chat, Ellie?
Yeah.
I didn't see that one person talk about her.
Yeah, people were arguing back and forth about it. It's not about Queen Bee, I'm saying. Like, this is like, why is this being brought up again now? Like, this is like,
am I not?
I think because Granny was reviewing Savage. And
am
when
I
she
not?
was reviewing
Am I
Savage,
not?
No,
it
I
come
get
up.
it. I understand that.
I'm starting to wonder, is there any, can I have permission to cover anything?
Of course.
Like, do I have to seek permission first?
Oh my God, there's nothing about permission. I'm just saying that it sounds like this is like starting up again and with the Heels. And I mean, I understand you're covering, of course, you're covering Savage, covering this, but I'm just saying, like,
here's my thing, and I'm going to say this as respectful as I can. I don't wake up in the morning and say, hey, how can I get at Queen? Or, hey, is this going to be?
No, I don't think you're getting at Queen. No,
like,
I never said
because
that.
the other day I covered a topic that was Jones and it beats him, and suddenly that's me covering Queen. I'm covering this today, and suddenly this is me covering Queen. This has nothing to do with Queen, respectfully, nothing.
No, I know, but I just feel like there is all of a sudden, it seems to me like with like some like Sinner and some of these other people that all of a sudden are going hard again at Queen in this panel.
Well,
I know
Granny can't control that though. I mean, she's
saying,
just
no, I'm not bringing like it's not about that. I'm just saying, like, why is this being like drudged up again? Like,
because Heel said the other day, why isn't anybody going after Savage? And Savage's response to that was this on the screen. That's why.
Yeah. And I came, my comments in the chat, you can't really convey them very well in a chat. So I was just saying, if people have such strong emotions either way, have they done the research yet? And a lot of people are like, yeah, I did. I read the blog and I hated it. Or yeah, I took the time to do it and I'm okay with it. I understand. But it was a controversial case. Really, that's all I'm saying is about the Kendrick case itself. And what I've seen from Heels previous to any of this coming out, I never saw anything racist or controversial or weird. I thought her clips were hysterical. They were cute. And she seemed like a very nice person to me. So I wanted to take the time to research. I didn't want to just write her off like, well, fuck her because, all these years ago, this happened. It made me look at her differently. Sure. Because I'm like, wow, I didn't know she was into all this. Like, she had a whole blog for all these years. Shit. But, I mean, personally, for me, it ain't got shit to do with Queen. I don't know.
No, I'm sorry. It's like I like mentioned that, and now you're just bringing attention to that. It's not about that. I feel like it's about I don't know. It's just upsetting for me because like she, people are talking about her hospice. People are talking about, and
that's unacceptable.
Like my cancer has been talked about in my HPV and my butthole, like that.
Yeah, why would anybody be talking about hospice? Like, that's crazy town.
That's what I saw in your chat. I mean, that's
and I'll be honest, as I just said to Tracy a minute ago, I wasn't even looking at the chat. I was actually on YouTube over here, but I don't even know what. First off, independent thinkers, the only one who keeps coming in here bringing up Queen. You're the only one, and I'm very much aware that you now feel that way because I allowed Jones in up. Okay. Secondly, I'll be quite frank when I say this. I don't know who the fuck's a Hive member and who isn't. I barely watch Queen. I don't know who's like what subscribers who and what. I don't even judge. I don't even put a name to subscribers. Like, oh, you must be. You're a Tracy sub. No, she's my sub in my chat. Sorry. Like I'm not focused on who belongs to who, and nobody belongs to anybody. I don't know who's a Hive member, who isn't. I'm sorry that people feel this way, but I honestly feel like it is subscribers like Indy that are making this a problem.
It's infuriating. That becomes a problem. Like, I think personally, if Queen felt like it was about her, then she could come in here and say,
it's because I allowed Jones in it. It's because Jones and Nunya are members here, and because Jones came on my panel the other day, I'm now automatically anti-Hive somehow. and
I don't think
everything
you
I say
are.
and do. I'm not.
No.
But I'm tired of everything being like, oh, you can't talk about that because that's about It's not about Queen. Nothing about today was about Queen. Nothing.
No, I'm not coming up here to defend Queen, just so you guys know. I'm coming up here to defend Heels because I feel like she's getting lost in the sauce here with some of this stuff. And that's all. I just wanted to know what you guys have like seen today, like that shows that she is a racist. That's all. That was my
Yeah,
only
I mean
question because
the whole conversation though, Ellie, that Granny and I had was strictly about the case, the blog, and Heels. Nothing else was mentioned, you know?
I just came up to ask you a question. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done it. I just
No, I mean it's fine if that's your view on it, but I was just
fine.
trying to
That's
explain how I approached it, and that's how we should be approaching stuff and just not making assumptions about shit.
Yeah, I
Well,
thought you were actually debunking the whole Heels is a racist thing. I thought we were being very fair to Heels. And I actually view
yeah.
Heels as her own channel and her own person. I don't view her as belonging to anybody. I've
no,
offered
of
Heels
course
the
not.
link several times. She's welcome to come up. I haven't said a bad word
Yeah.
about her.
I don't associate Heels with Queen. I associate Heels with, you know,
I am mad about the tag, just Samantha. I'm very mad about the tag, and then I'm mad about what I saw after that. And I think if a tag led to your relatives' docs and your children being threatened, you'd be very upset as well. Okay, I think I have a right to be upset about that.
Heels was brought up because of Savage's stream, which was the direct result of Heels speaking on Savage. Yeah,
I
That's it.
understand that. I just came up here because I saw what was going on in chat, and I just wanted to like ask you guys that question because I feel like I don't know, I just feel that it's hard for Heels this stuff and whatever. I mean, you do whatever you got to do. I'm not like telling you to stop. I'm not telling you to do anything. I was just coming up here just to ask that question because it just keeps going back to this 10 years ago, and everybody is
I
like,
mean, the link was dropped for Heels, and
Several
my
times.
view is she should come up and let Granny ask her the questions because Granny wasn't aware of the whole thing, and then that way she can explain it in her own words.
That's always the best, I believe, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail anything. I was just trying to come up here and give my own opinion and stuff about things because I went through that whole Heels, like everything and watched it all kind of go down. So, I don't know. It's just
I appreciate
upsetting
your
to
opinion.
me.
I get it. I
Well,
appreciate your opinion. That's why I was asking Tracy to elaborate on what she was saying in the chat so that there isn't just this narrative of what was being stated on Savages, that she's a racist. That is exactly why I dropped a link and Tracy came up to give that same perspective that you're saying you came up for.
Yeah. Really, I mean, specifically only looking at the Kendrick situation. The whole blog, that's a whole nother world, And if I was a commentary channel, perhaps I would have commentated on the entire blog and made a decision, but I didn't. I was interested in what she had to say specifically about that, and that's what we discussed in emails, and I was trying to understand her perspective. I don't want to ever, cancel somebody or talk shit about them without fucking really looking into what I'm talking about. If I just went off the little things that were shown, I would have been on the hate Heels thing too. Like, oh no, bitch, no. But when you dig and you look and you research and you open your mind up a little bit, you can understand, okay, well, this is
I
how
think
she
Heels
felt.
wants the link
Take
again.
it or
Maybe
leave it.
That's all I was I actually, it's funny because I feel like I wasn't really given a chance to do so, but the whole purpose of my stream, believe it or not, was to show the other side instead of just what was seen on Savages. But I don't know.
Well, I'm sorry. I
Again,
just
you
came
can
up to
talk about whatever you
try
want,
to.
Granny.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go. I'm so sorry. I just got like upset, like seeing. I guess you weren't looking at what was going on in chat, so it was upsetting for me because, I think differently about Heels than a lot of people do, obviously, and I don't think it's right to say some of the things that were being said to her in your chat and chat. It was like whatever. It's just people like to go after people and dogpile. I get it, but I don't know.
No, that makes you a good friend. I appreciate that. To be fair, I do allow open, respectful opinions in my chat, and if any time Heels felt like she was, she could have just simply said like, "Hey, Grady, can you block this person?" and I would have done it. I didn't. I'm not looking for anybody to feel like they're ganged up in my chat by any means. Hey, Heels.
Hey,
Oh,
yeah.
hey, Jeff.
I came up and I see the lemon and I was almost like, what the hell? But that's savages.
That's on the
Yeah,
other
he's not
screen.
here.
I'm back down again. Yeah, I have a live planned I worked on all day yesterday, but what was going on in chat is Nicolina asking me about hospice and saying that if she were on hospice, she wouldn't be doing this. I don't think that is anyone's business. I never brought it here. It got brought up and it's personal. So the people asking, I mean, if they were asking, like, if they emailed me and asked me about it, but in the middle of a chat where, racism is being put and all that, I don't understand what that has to do with anything. So.
Yeah, I didn't bring my cancer here either. Heels, it sucks when people do that.
Yeah, and there are
another person that did that.
The people that I care about know, and I don't have a problem. I just don't talk about it. I don't see a reason to talk about it. It has nothing to do with anything. So anyway, on the Kendrick Johnson case, Chasing and I do disagree about the outcome. And I would love to have a conversation on it with she and I on the panel. But now there are other white women that have looked into the case. One is Ashes, and again, me with names is horrible, but she did a long series on Kendrick Johnson. And the end result was Jackie Johnson called her a racist white woman. And another woman was trying to help her with a rally, I think. And she had people putting up the headlines with this woman is a scammer and she's a very hard person to, you can't talk to her about the case and she's got her mind made up, but I can see if she would say, leave me alone or you're wrong or whatever, but that's what it just always boils down to with her. And she's very racial about it. So, I mean, I don't know. This panel was brought up because I was saying part of I think it was a 3-hour long live that I'm not going to say for sure, but I think it was a Sinner that made a remark about Savage's Toys for Tots. Either way, people have said shit about the Toys for Tots. So my point was, y'all are selective about your outrage. I feel like it was an agenda for the Queen and the Hive and the split with Jones and Anunya. That's what it was about. I don't think people are that bothered that Queen watched Aileen there that day. I think it was wrong for Aileen to go. I think it was wrong for Savage to do what she did. But who do people pick to go after? If that's what it was about, they would have gone after both. But they're just going and then saying that Queen's taking the funds for the lawyer fees and stealing them or whatever. So that was the comparison to Toys for Tots. If you think Savage is doing something, which I don't, it would be dumb, then have the courage to go after everybody. That's all I was saying. And because some people just will not stop writing me, they found that and picked it out and made it sound worse. But I'm going to go over a lot of stuff today, or probably later on today.
That becomes a whataboutism, right? Because people are going after Queen, then your statement of, well, what about why aren't people going about Savage? And I see you're trying to apply the rule across the board.
No, I was trying to say there was an agenda. I wasn't trying to say that. I was trying to say it's an agenda. You don't really care. No one with a brain thinks Queen is stealing money from the fund. Everybody's known about that video for months with Aileen. So my point was more, it's an agenda. If it weren't, you would be going after other people, but there are certain people you wouldn't. And I firmly believe that. And this panel that happened 2 nights ago is proof.
Well, sure, but if people, let's say that 6 people talk about Queen and say she could be stealing, then that's those 6 people, right? But if those 6 people don't feel that Savage collected money for Toys for Tots and then stole, then it's just those 6 people who think that. So saying, well, if you're going to go after Queen, why not go after Savage? Doesn't really hold water, because it's only the opinion of the person talking.
Well, the bottom line
they
is
may have an agenda against Queen. Who knows? But
yeah, I get all that, but I know what I meant. I know because I said it. So people can, rationalize it or whatever, but I know what I meant.
What you
and
were
I
trying to
have
say. Yeah.
indeed a problem with my thoughts sometimes because I don't know why. I mean, I just, I think the thing is and you know this, people will take anything you say and make it into what they want you to mean. And then it's hard to fight against that. I mean, if that's how they take it, that's how they take it.
Yeah.
But you know what you meant when you said
your thoughts being
Right.
interpreted by somebody who's not in your mind when you're saying what you're saying.
Right.
People can take what I've said and said, Chasing supports racists. She's probably a racist, right?
Well, like I said, when you
that'll
were
easily
on,
happen. So
when you were on Kanika Jenkins, I'm sure you ran into people saying your opinion was just because of that. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it happened a lot. But I was on the side that she was murdered. And there was a lot of back and forth because the people at the hotel were white, and the police who came that first time, they were also white, and they didn't let the mother see the video camera. So there was a lot of racial things, and there were only like 6, 7, 10 white people in the Kanika Jenkins community. So I was on the side of she was murdered, but not in a racial manner.
But
there was a lot of that,
didn't you switch? I thought you switched.
Ultimately, yeah.
Okay.
Right near the end of it all, I did say, they've come out with no proof. There's no proof that somebody harmed her and put her in there. It could have been a tragic accident. And at the end of the day, the mother just got her settlement. And that was based off of the negligence of the hotel. And I always believe the hotel was negligent, and they were. Had they let her see those cameras, they would have gotten Kanika out of that fucking freezer before she died. And they were negligent, so they had to pay her. So
what do you think about me and JLR?
What about you and JLR?
Our thing.
I think you guys have been going back and forth for a long time, and now,
I mean,
come on, he's trying to be normal. Y'all are dating? I didn't know. Congratulations.
Well, yeah,
that is the new
what
was.
Oh, I'm gonna send a gift. It'll probably be an edible arrangement. That'll be very nice.
An edible arrangement. Ew.
Well, apparently he
I
has
had no
lots of
idea you
girlfriends.
two are dating. Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Good.
What, Granny?
I said apparently he has lots of girlfriends, so get ready
I
to send
know.
lots of edible arrangements.
I know. The playa.
Yes, she is Aunt
Are
Mary.
you Aunt Mary?
In
They
the
said.
cabin. Yes. She is the cabin Aunt Mary.
I do think it was Betty that started that. She was like, it made me think.
Can I answer Earth real quick?
Of course.
You continue to say, I said once that I white knighted for Savage for 2 years, and that I said I had her back for 2 years, and she knew that. My point was, why would I turn around and start saying, like, I think she's a thief? And what was the going real life? I did say that. I don't agree with it 100%. But you can look at my videos and see how she and I both went after Dolly. It wasn't 2 years, it was almost 2 years. That was my point. And yes, she did humiliate me when she kicked me out of her chat without ever talking to me. So yeah, there was that. But I wasn't mad. I mean, it just so happened to come up that night. What, 6 months later? That's when I'm going to start. Yeah, I wasn't going after Savage, period.
I think that's so important to, if you liked heels and now you don't, what did you base it on? If you liked Brandy, now you don't, what do you base it on? Same for me, same for Zoomer Mom, Jill, Captain Napton, anybody. If you don't have to explain where the fuck you're getting your opinion, but if you're going to strike up a live and you're going to talk about it and you're going to point things out, do you have the full context or not? I mean, that's just always important. It's important in true crime cases. It's important in life. You're making shit up, or you're seeing things how you want to see them without having the full context. But if you do, and you still feel the same way, then that's great, as long as you've researched it. But I see so much of that around here. We'll take a sentence or 30 minutes of a live stream and then go off fucking half cocked. Dietz addressed that last night. Allegedly 6 minutes of my words were clipped and put into a Discord. Me typing, talking to people in a chat was me attacking somebody and slick talking them, which literally did not happen. Even in the context, showing the words that I said, even those didn't look like it. So I'm still baffled on that part, but because they didn't know the whole context, even though it's been explained to them, it's offensive. Yeah, just come to me and ask me, what were you saying? What was this about? That's all you had to do. It's real simple. But that doesn't happen here because we want 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 people in the chat to hear us drag somebody, and it's bullshit. It really is. So.
Yeah, people like drama.
Oh yeah, it's fun. I mean, that's
I do.
why we're all here.
This was a good point. This was a good point, that the real problem is that everybody is fine with everything until there's a falling out. And by that, what I mean is, like, Savage didn't bring up the blog or that you were racist or anything until she felt you took a jab at her. And that's why that was brought up, which is what I kept saying today. It was like her way of being like, oh, well, F you because you're a racist. But that happens a lot. And when you ask, why isn't anybody going after Savage? Why aren't you? Like,
because I don't think she did anything except they're going real life, and I did video about it.
You did video about it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering, because everybody does this whole, like, well, who's going to do it? But if we feel that way, we start it, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I did a video about it, and I was given, the explanation that because that person had invited her, so whatever.
Right. They said that she was invited, and yeah.
I agree with Boston Bridget.
So do you
we
feel
all
like
see it going on, but nobody's saying shit about it, right? Until somebody you like then says shit about it, and then you jump on the bandwagon. Well, where were your balls to say it 6 months ago when all of it was happening? And that's not to Savage. That's in general.
In general,
for all of us. We can't just. I can't wait to get on Granny's panel and talk about heels when it happened all that time ago, and I was okay with it. I didn't say nothing.
Well, and that happens all the time, because I said this the other day, and it's never until there's a falling out that people do call out certain behaviors that they sat by, and it really says a lot about the person who sat by and didn't say a word, and then decide after the falling out they're going to call it out. I just feel like it shouldn't be taken serious, but unfortunately that's the way it is. People are always okay with something until it happens to them or somebody they care about. Then there's a problem. Then they want to use that moment. Known heels, well, as I saw, was her using an example. I said that too. I think it was an example. I don't think she was trying to start with Savage. And I think she does have a point that people are afraid to go at certain creators without a doubt. I think that's true. Oh, and they wanted me to correct this, Heels. Apparently it wasn't Sinner that brought it up. It was Dolly.
It was Dolly?
Yeah, it wasn't Sinner.
That brought what up? Dolly wasn't up there.
I don't know. I forget what it was. If somebody could type it in the chat. I forget what they said, but you said it was Sinner that brought up, and everybody said no, it wasn't. It was Dolly.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll wait to see what they say. Well,
My opinion on
acknowledge that. Did TPA say that maybe they misrepresented what you said? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sure she did. Absolutely. A question, Michelle says, a question that sort of shorthand for me, your opinion on Milo Yiannopoulos. I loved him before. I mean, he's a very smart guy, and something happened that destroyed him, and he acted like a destroyed person, and it was sad. And he just lost his ever-loving mind. A lot of people, they completely destroyed him. And he couldn't do anything without, the mob was national that would go at him, no matter what he tried to start. And then he just started crazy shit. Like, going to change trans people back into, it was crazy. But yeah, I went on that interview about a man named Sean King, who just last week was removed. He and his 5 million followers were banned from Instagram.
Yeah, sure was.
The Toys for Tot comment came from Dolly in a previous live, not Sinner.
Dolly and I. Yeah, I'm not going to say Sinner said it for sure, and I didn't. But I thought he had said something when he was throwing out examples.
Right. Can you clarify again what you meant by your comment about taking toys from Tots? Because I think people are still.
I said she took Toys for Tots, just like it's the word took.
Mm-hmm.
That
yeah,
they
she said
thought
she was collecting money for Toys for Tots. She wasn't saying she took from Toys for Tots, or she was taking donations or whatever.
I said she took Toys for Tots. That's what I said. And even Savage, when she was talking about it a little bit later, said, just because I was taking Toys for Tots, it's not, I took the toys and took them wherever. It wasn't, she took, meaning she stole them. Again, that's ludicrous. I don't know what you would do with all those toys.
That she does. It's really a great thing.
It is. It's a wonderful thing she does. I don't have a problem with it.
Why was it mentioned at all then? Like, what was the...
Because I had heard it. More than just Dolly, if that's where I heard it, had said she was scamming. Somehow she was scamming the Toys for Tots thing. So I was using that as an example of, if you think she's scamming, you think Queen's scamming, you think she's going real life, you think Queen is going real life, then my point was, it was an agenda. It wasn't just like Savage saying, oh, we did all these things for children and we were starting a movement. All I remember is going after Dolly, going after Bombshell, fighting with Benny Keys, fighting with other people. I don't remember us going after, with the ship, going after a lot of tragedy pimps. I just don't recall that we did that much. Sure, Dolly was perceived that way, but not, I don't remember JLR at all being talked about. Or we talked about Molly, but not Betty. So I don't even know what I'm answering, but.
So as an example, you were given an example. She pretty much just explained why, because others say that you're basically what I'm thinking you're saying is you're saying others say that she is stealing from Toys for Tots. And if that's
scamming,
a rumor,
yeah.
scamming, then why aren't more people speaking out on that? That's, I mean, she just
Speaking
needs
to her. Yeah.
Oh,
No one's
okay.
speaking to her about it. Everyone will speak to, and I'm saying Queen because that's the example that is going on. But that was my point is no one, I mean, if that's your thing, and that, okay, that's why I gave the example of Savage going after tragedy pimps. You're being very selective, and it's more like you're going after people that pissed you off, not going after tragedy pimps.
Right,
You
but
know,
you're not right. It's not about the action, it's about the person. I
yes.
feel that. I get that. I mean, that does happen. People pick and choose what to call out based on if they like a person or not. That is definitely factual.
Not to mention, I never said I was going after tragedy pimps. Unknowingly, I guess you could have called him that, but Al Sharpton, total tragedy pimp, always has been. Several of the people that were heading all the crap that was going on are tragedy pimps. Sean King is a tragedy pimp. So yeah, I did, but I didn't come on here I came on here, I jumped up because of Heels on the Ground.
Right. That
Yeah,
is what
and
I'm
all
saying.
the shit they were doing.
Sometimes you just gotta really listen to what's being said. Okay. QB is collecting money. Savage took toys, showed dropping them off. Big difference. I haven't really heard anybody
You
talk
can
about.
look at the court documents, and if you've ever had a court case, you know that it's not cheap.
I don't
You know,
really ever
somebody's paying it.
I don't really ever hear people talking about the lawyer fund. Are they?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, okay. So that's where, all right. Stage for toys, not took the toys. Heels doesn't think Savage scammed anyone. Right. She's clarified that. Yeah,
Savage
mistake.
even said it that way. I noticed it when she said it. She said, I took toys for tots. She means she took from other people toys for tots and then took them to I mean, you can see her doing it.
Right. You were just using an example that there are people out here saying she's taking them with not good
Scamming, yeah.
intentions. Right. So it was, yeah. All right. I get exactly what you were saying. Doesn't cost 40K. That isn't a 40K lawyer type case.
Oh,
Well,
yes, it is. Absolutely.
she says that when she can, she'll show the receipts. So until then, people or you feel how you feel, but she's going to show the receipts. Cause chaos in communities when they're mid. That is why you should always do your research before you speak on it. Instead of talk, she means collect it.
Yeah. Unless she's got 20 grandkids hidden away somewhere. I don't know what else she would do. And she shows
Right.
herself taking them there. She did the same thing last year.
Okay, so then it's not necessarily that you used the wrong word, it's that it was maybe a poor example because you were speaking on what other people feel. Like if these other people feel this way, then why isn't that being talked about more than QB, which is what you started on, which is, to be fair, it is a whataboutism. But she's your friend, so of course you're defending her. You know what I mean? Which is there's nothing
I
wrong
was
with
saying it was an agenda. The difference
right. That's
between
right. That's right.
Yeah.
I'll never forget when this all first came out, you went live and the first thing you said is I'm not racist and I'm not going to like accept that pretty much. And I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, well how come Heels got away with it and Heels was reaccepted and Heels this and Heels that?" Here's the thing, you didn't do anything how do I say it? You owned it. You owned your shit. Like you didn't, as far as I'm aware, you didn't make excuses. You didn't you didn't cave down and say, okay, it was, those were racist comments and I'm sorry. You kind of just said, like, no, I'm not a racist. I didn't mean them from a racist place, and take it or not. And I think that is why people like Tracy here looked at the
People
overall.
are going to think it if they want to think it. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter what I said. I have
Yeah, I guess
family.
that's the
I have
problem I have
friends.
with it. Yeah, is they're
Yeah.
going to believe what they want, but
Yeah, they're going to believe what they want to believe. And those people, I'm fine with. They can believe what they want to believe. I can't change their mind, nor do I particularly want to, but I will explain that case more, the Kendrick Johnson case.
that's hard for me to say, well, people are going to believe what they want to believe, even if they've talked to you, listened to you, whatever. If they haven't done all of that, then I find it difficult. But if they have, then it's like, cool, yeah, all right, yeah, that's what you feel. But
Yeah.
I
Well,
feel
there are
like a
just
lot of
certain
people
people that
haven't.
I don't care.
Well, yeah.
Hi,
yeah.
Kelly Ford. But it's just like saying, oh, you harassed the parents. I hear that constantly. You harassed the parents. You went after them and I did 1 or 2 tweets. I always want to say 2. Find anything, anywhere where I harassed that woman. I didn't. Her sister read my blog and used to comment all the time. I didn't get in fights with her. I didn't comment back to her. So where that's coming from is Jackie Johnson, who has said worse about other people that even tried to look into the case. Now,
I think that's difficult too because of the situation that they were in. A lot of true crime people or people in general were always going to side with the victim, right? So if your blog was questioning anything that the parents believed, that's a hard pill for some people, like, well, why were you even doing that? Instead of, well,
I
she
didn't
was
even get into it
blogging
for a
this
year.
and
People don't realize that too. It was a year before most people even looked into it or started talking about it, because it blew up when Ben Crump came on and then swiftly left because he saw the ship had holes all over in it.
yeah. And I mean that again too, I feel like you neglect to explain that in any good detail, because that's the point you made to me, is mostly it was about Ben, right? But because of the way that things have come out, it still looks like it was about Kendrick and Kendrick's family, instead of you saying it was specifically about this, and here's why I came to my conclusion.
Well, it
you're in
became
defense mode, so it's
it
hard
became
to explain it all, I guess.
Well, because people went and found Zena, the woman that wrote the blog, and they're saying it was an article. It wasn't. It was something Zena wrote, Black Butterfly.
Yeah.
They got it from the Wayback Machine. It'd been deleted. The WCTV article was deleted because they had asked for the autopsy photos to be included in the case file. They wanted it. And so people are taking what was in the Wayback Machine, although I've sent the other article so many times saying that they had requested and had one. The judge gave them the autopsy photos, but
See,
no
that
one
is a
uses that.
critical point, Heels.
Yeah, but
You
no
need
one
to
uses
be
it.
able to, right? And I'm sure half of the people in here who feel like they've researched this don't know who Zena is, right? So that's where things get frustrating. So I know
Yeah,
who
and
Zena
she's
is.
actually a friend that I saw die.
Right.
But
Right.
but people read that old article, and that's what they go on, and then I have to explain it over and over again.
Right. And the parent, what Heels is saying, the parents had to get the autopsy pictures. They wanted them in the file. They they truly believe their son was beaten. There were posters made, you know, to show, look what they did to him, they said. It was a very important part of the case. Very, very important. You know,
Yes,
I had pictures of his dad holding up awful, terrible photo of what he
that
looked
was
like
a
when he was in the
post.
morgue. Yeah.
Yeah, that was post autopsy,
Yeah.
which made it look worse than the actual crime scene photo of him, which was not an autopsy photo, it was a crime scene photo.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was an autopsy photo with his back that I put up. But the one with his face, that was a sticking point, and not just for me. CNN was also asking, where did that photo come from? And until the depositions, no one knew for sure.
See, and people, they don't know about the depositions and the whole, it's such an involved.
No.
How long
But
did
I
you spend
did.
on this case? Like the whole, a very long time, right? I mean, it
A
wasn't
very long
like you
time.
looked
And I
into
had a
it
full
one
time.
day.
Yeah, I know. One day in clips
Yeah,
from
it's
3.
a very, very long case where there was court and there have been investigations and the GBI and the lady, what is the lady's name who did
Lee
her blog?
Touchton. Lee Touchton.
Lee.
She was
There
the
you
head
go.
of, she was the president of the NAACP.
Yeah. Who started out feeling one way and
Right.
ended up a completely different way.
Yeah.
Which was hard. Ooh.
And that's a very, I mean, I list all my sources. I source 98%. You know, I'll give my opinion at the end of whatever, but there's always a source for everything because I'm a stickler for it. You know, it's not a blog of me just willy-nilly giving my opinion. This is what I think happened because of this.
Yeah, it's very detailed. Very, the case it's still going on. I mean, it's gone on for a really long time.
Well, they made a documentary now, and in the documentary, as you know, they're still throwing the bellboys in who have ironclad alibis, but they're suing them. The Bells are suing them. The producer.
Oh my gosh! See, it's hard to explain your views on it when it's such a big thing. It wasn't just this little, she wrote one article that appeared racist. It was an ongoing blog, just like Somerwell's case, 2.5 years, right? If I was writing a blog on Summer's case, you could go pick out my beginning from early June thinking, oh, these parents, and I'm saying the things that I'm saying, but then I switch and it's context.
But
is
I
so
can make it
important.
look any way I want it to, you know, because there's so much people have said I could take every creator and make them look a certain way if I wanted to.
Sure.
You know, but if I were to blog on it, there would be like one page because that's what we have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did Kendrick's family ask that you stop?
No, they didn't ask me to stop. They went and talked to the woman that was writing the article, Winnie, I think her name was. She did email me, and an hour later, that came up. I didn't even see the email, but that's what she told the reporter.
So they told the
I
reporter
never talked
that
to
they
her.
reached out to you.
Never were words exchanged. Huh?
So they told the reporter that they reached out to you, but they actually didn't reach out to
Never.
you.
Never once.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've never had words with her.
Because that's what people are basically holding against you, is that the family asked you to stop and you didn't. Or they asked you to remove the photos and you didn't, right?
No, they didn't ask. She was posting them on Twitter. Way worse photos on Twitter are still on Twitter. Because she was using them as a way to say, look what they did to my son. And it's a photo of him being cut up in the autopsy.
And who posted those on Twitter?
She did.
She who?
Jackie. To this day, they're up on Twitter. They're on her Instagram.
I think the chat, I think at this point, Chronicles, you answered your own question. I think the chat feels how they feel, and that's not going to change. You know what I mean? It's one of those situations. Same thing with me. There's people who just don't like me, and nothing I say or do is going to change that, and that's fine. They're stuck to their narrative, rather, it's false or not. They believe it, and they're going to run with it. That's not like, you know what I mean? I don't think, but I can ask.
And that's
Hey,
fine
Pat.
with me. That's fine with me. The only thing that from the Savages the other night is when I came in, I heard Miss Mo crying. Miss Mo and I talk all the time. I go into Unitonica's like in the mornings. She has a very small crowd, listen to music. Miss Mo goes up. I love Miss Mo. She and I have been friends for as long as I've been here. And to hear her crying completely broke my heart.
That was sad.
And it was horrible. But that got to me. But there are a lot of people that are just gonna, they don't want to believe anything else, and that's fine. I don't have any sense of loss for those people.
I don't know how, and I'm going to say this respectfully. How often do we go over Bullhorn Betty stuff? Is there a timeline? I mean, no, nobody, she doesn't have to relive it by any means, but this was a topic that took place yesterday. And I feel like, I'll be honest, I feel like I opened a platform to defend Heels. Like I'm not going against her. If people in the chat feel how they feel about her, I don't even see the chat saying anything horrible to Heels, to be honest. Do you, Heels? Do you feel that way?
I'm not saying horrible, but when people bring up hospice like it has, like Shannon did on the panel, I loved Shannon. But Shannon's been around as long as I have. In fact, I used one of her skits in my very first video. And when she got up and said that, I mean, no one's talked to me from there.
Right.
And so it was kind of shocking to hear her say that, but I don't know what it has to do with anything.
I see what you're saying.
I just went to look at Twitter. I mean, there are so many pictures of Kendrick up here. This is very upsetting.
Yeah, I don't know why Twitter allows them to stay up.
Oh my God. They're everywhere. And
yeah,
I mean, Jackie's tagged in these. This is horrible. Ooh.
And I feel like what was happening is, if I understood this all correctly, is that while the family was saying for it to stop, and rather people believe that was directed at Heels or not, I think what Heels was, you were defending the other children, right? The other boys.
Yes, and Jackie was being Jackie when she said that. Okay. You just would have to know. I mean, she was just a victim of me. And I don't even know why I was brought up in that, except for somebody else said it, I'm sure. And then that became a thing. And it's a whole long story. It's more involved than just her saying that. But she said, I find proof. If someone can find any proof at all, and you can't, because I never harassed her.
Right.
I asked her the same question everybody else did. Where did the picture come from? She had the post-autopsy picture that she was walking around with it on a, while she was not protesting, but standing outside the courthouse. And nobody could figure out where the picture came from. And that was it. That was the only question I ever asked her.
The dad took the photo, right?
Right, but we didn't know that for a long time.
Yeah. So the dad went to the holding, not it wasn't the morgue, or maybe it was the morgue.
I think it was the morgue, or yeah.
He saw his son, and he didn't like the conditions he was being kept in. He said that it wasn't cold. It was.
I know that wasn't right.
Yeah. There was a whole situation about that. It was very sad. And the dad snapped a picture of Kendrick's face.
Yeah, but that was post-autopsy. When he was complaining about the conditions, that's when they first took him there. And then they did the autopsy. They were taking him in a bag. I guess they were transporting him or whatever. And that's when after the autopsy, he took the picture. It's when they, and sorry, trigger warning, when they rolled the skin forward on his head to get to his brain and all that. And that's what that is. It's rolled up skin around the top of his head.
Oof.
Yeah, I'd advise anybody who hasn't seen the pictures not to go look, unless you're going to investigate into the case to support or not. But
And they were posted by his own family.
Yeah, they were posting that picture because the one of him at the crime scene, they kept saying, Jackie kept saying no, he was unrecognizable. You couldn't even recognize him. Well, the one they were carrying around, I could see that. But the actual crime scene, when they found him, you could definitely tell that it was Kendrick. So they were using that picture as a way to say he was, as proof that he was beaten and not what actually, in my opinion, and according to every investigation that's been done, was an accident.
I mean, I'm looking at one now of the actual crime scene from Twitter, and it's the crime scene. He's still in the sheet, like where they put him. And in my opinion, he was beaten.
Well,
but I know we totally disagree on this.
Right. Well, he
But
was upside down in a hot gym mat for 13 hours. So,
but there's a lot of blood. I mean, it could
right.
have come from his mouth or I
Right.
don't know, but it's awful. It is awful.
Right.
Now I'm
It is
remembering
awful.
going back to making the videos and sobbing and not being able to get through any of this because from when I saw these, okay, I'm on his mom's page right now on Twitter, and wow, all the pictures are out. I've never even seen these ones.
But
This
those
is
are
really
all,
brutal.
those are
This
not
is
her
terrible.
saying, these are, nowhere does she say these are autopsy pictures. She always says, look what they did to my son. This is what they did to my son. They
Well, I'm
being,
looking at one where he's laying down, and at the very end is the mat with the blood with his shoe.
yeah,
And it's
that's a crime
brutal.
scene.
Yeah, I'm looking at the crime scene ones.
Right.
And then there are ones of him laying on the gurney with the Central Emmy 2013 with a number beside
Right.
it. It's brutal. These are brutal.
But that's lividity on his, like his arms, on his face. Blood was coming out because he was upside down. All his organs would have moved forward. It's gross, but if you go to my page, it explains all of that. And that's one of the reasons autopsy pictures, you don't need the autopsy pictures where, they're taking out the organs, and that's not what you need. And I'm not saying you always need them, but one of the things that was said many times until this day, I sent you that clip, is his organs were stolen.
Yeah.
His body was intact. That's one of the things that I was saying, no, they didn't steal his organs. His body
What'd
was
they do?
intact.
Did they discard them?
Do
Wasn't
they
he filled
describe
with
what?
newspaper?
Oh, now that was after. That's when he got to the funeral home.
Right.
Well, they wouldn't have stolen the organs of someone that had been hanging upside down for 13 hours.
Now, I don't know what happened to his organs. I
Oh, his
remember
organs, yeah.
from back
I think,
then, people were talking about why the hell
yeah,
is he stuffed with newspaper? Like, what the hell is this? That was
yeah,
shocking when I heard that. Like, what? What are you talking
yeah.
about? Why would he be filled with newspaper? But it's been a
Well,
long
one of
time
the
since
guys
I've
that
looked
worked
into
there,
it.
they put them either back inside because the organs are removed, and they would have been toxic organs. So the organs were removed, bagged, and the medical examiner said that when his body left, the organs were with him. So at Harrington Funeral Home, years later, some guy that worked there took the blame and said he threw them away. But it was, they sued him. I don't know if they won or not, but he said the reason that he filled it with newspaper, it's just a cost effective.
Yeah, I
And he
don't know
had
why
buried.
there's all this blood. He had to have an injury. It's not because he
No,
was
there was no
upside
injury.
down.
There was
There's
no
blood
injury.
everywhere, though. Have you seen the ones on Twitter recently?
I've seen, oh, I don't know. There's some new one. Are you talking about at the end of the at the end of the mat?
Yeah, and you know how when they came into the crime scene, they put him in the sheet? You know, they laid out the white sheet in the crime scene video, and he's laying on it. There's even blood at the bottom of the mat, like a lot of blood. I don't know.
I'd
You
have
got to
to
go
see
to
it. That
Twitter, to
wasn't part of
Jackie's
the
page.
video
It's
that I
brutal.
have.
It's awful. I don't know.
Yeah.
I gotta shut it off. It's too much, man.
Yeah, but would you send it to me? Because I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Yeah, but there were no cuts. There
But
were
it's
no
public. It's all over.
abrasions.
It's everywhere on Twitter. Like, how?
I don't.
Baffled right now that they're even allowing that on Twitter. What the
Yeah, I can't believe they allow what they allow on their period. I've seen things.
I never saw these. I don't know.
No, I've never seen it, what you're
Disgusting.
describing.
No, it's terrible. But yeah, I'll let you know when everybody else
Which is surprising because I thought I'd seen everything.
No, I did too. I mean, when I looked into this, it was a lot. There
Well,
were
Brooklyn
tons
here,
of things out.
Brooklyn here is a licensed funeral director for a very long time, and she's saying that the organs always get returned.
That's what I thought.
And
Right.
The parents sign
I
off
couldn't.
on something, but
Well, no, they didn't because they had that lawsuit later, and I feel like
The
they
organs, get returned to the family?
to the body.
Yeah. And that's what the ME said, that they were returned and then sent to the funeral home. And that's where they didn't
and the
get
funeral
put
home
back
says that they
inside of
didn't
them.
put them back.
Right.
That they
Which it doesn't matter. The organs would have been destroyed.
No, it's the same person, Corinne. You do talk a little desensitized about the case, Heels. like I probably because you were so
I know
like,
my tone is horrible. I wish I had a different tone.
Yeah.
I've tried. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna really.
I mean, at the end of the
Even
day,
my-
we are talking about a child, and it's a very horrific thing.
Yeah, and I've talked about it for years. What?
Yeah.
I'm not desensitized, but you asked. I mean, you said that they were always returned, and I said they are.
No, not just about that. I'm just saying, and in general, it does seem like, and it's probably because there was so much conflict between you and the family and the case in general that you probably have taken a different approach to it. So it does sound like you're a little.
Well, I know people are going to say I
know.
sound desensitized or whatever. I'm not
Well,
going to.
that's the same thing that happened with Savgrown. People can argue it or not. I believe that. I believe if you are in true crime for a long time, you do become a bit desensitized. And I'm not justifying Savgrown by any means. I'm just saying it does happen. People do, because people in the chat are like, oh my God, this is horrible. This is too much. And I'm like, really? Like for me, it isn't, but I'm like heavily into true crime. But I do respect the fact that's for others it's really difficult. But unfortunately, this is a real conversation. You know, it's the same thing when it comes to addiction.
Yes.
And like there's so many things people want labeled as taboo: racism, addiction, politics, religion. But there are things that need to be talked about. True crime cases, as horrific as they are, this is life. This is horrible, yes.
Yeah.
But you know, it's not like we're having a willy-nilly conversation here.
Well, and when you do this for years and years and years, which those were not by any stretch the only case I've ever done, I mean, you're talking about details of a case. It's not always, I think the way he died was horrific enough. And for a while, I gave Jackie the benefit of the doubt that, she's accusing like to think your child died that way. I would rather someone killed them quickly than the way he actually died, like suffocating.
The way
You know,
you
so
believe he actually died. Yes, I get what you're saying.
the way
And
I believe,
because others, I mean,
that's
others,
it's
well,
been investigated.
the way the investigation believes, a lot of people do disagree with it. And I couldn't imagine thinking of it when it comes to my kid in any type of way.
Now, I would much rather think the less painful or, you know,
Right, of course. Of course. We if it were to have to happen, we want it to be the less painful way overall. I get it.
Of course.
I think it's excessive. Accuse someone purposely killing their child when there was an accident, not murder. You go there, don't you? Oh no, Lordly, I'm glad you brought that up. She was charged. She was charged. I didn't accuse her of it. The courts did and found her guilty of. Charged. But this is exactly what we were talking about earlier, right? Like all of a sudden I'm attacking some innocent person of the loss of a child. No, I'm not. Not at all, by any means. Never did. Never did. But there's a difference. Yeah, charged and being accused are two separate things. Just like I was accused of being a heroin Suboxone addict and accused of being a neglectful mother, and my daughter was accused of being a whore, being gangbanged by men, and accusations. There's difference between accusations and being found guilty. I think there are a lot of people who follow true crime because they suffer tragic loss, and for them, I think maybe the detached matter of fact tone and graphic details are triggering. Maybe I get that. I can see how it could trigger people. The Nazi wording correctly. Buy photos and reports because there are so many horrible cases out there. We have empathy for the victims' families first and foremost. Yeah, I agree.
people have a lot of different views on the Zab girl situation. You know, I didn't see the photos at all, but
So
I think
Zab
it's just a
comes off
completely different.
very neutral too, like there's not a lot of emotion. She's
Yeah.
very matter of fact about, well, I just want to see them because I like to know everything and I want to know everything. And because it was an 11-year-old child, it's like, oh, Zab, this is not.
Yeah, see, I didn't want to
But
see the autopsy photos. I just wanted to see that he wasn't, like, there were no cuts. Like one of Jackie's, one of her theories was, and she put this out there, that they had put him on meat hooks and lowered him into the mat.
yeah.
And so, and the other being the organs were taken. All of that.
Oh,
So
see, it's such a. This case is so.
But she was Jackie was very graphic. I don't come close to how graphic, but I have breathing problems, and thinking about Kendrick and what he went through, it's horrific.
Yeah.
Just horrific.
Yeah, it is horrific.
Well,
absolutely.
I'm gonna let Granny move on with her bus.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through.
I think we're just gonna crash at this point before I crash myself.
Well, I mean,
I appreciate you having me up.
Of course, I appreciate you coming up and offering some insight, and you as well, Heels. And
thank you.
I am sorry that you have to keep defending yourself, I guess I'll say. Unfortunately, it comes with YouTube, the territory will always be held by people that want to hold us to a certain standard. They'll always find that standard to hold us to. You know what I mean? People will twist things, as what was just twisted in my chat, that suddenly I'm attacking some innocent woman for the loss of her child. I never did that. I would never do that. Just as you're going to be held to a standard by people who want to see things a certain way. All you can do is what you've been doing. I personally, I don't know if I didn't read your blogs. I don't even feel like it was my place to. I don't know if there was a racist tone to them. I don't know if it was racism in them. What I do know is what I've seen of you since I came across your channel to now, I've never ever seen you put any type of racism forth. I stand full-heartedly against racism, bigotry, anti-Semitic, transphobia, all those things. If I truly felt like you were a racist, I'd probably be one of the ones calling you out. I don't feel like you are. For what it's worth, I know others who are Black people feel that you were, and I won't argue their position either. At the end of the day, you only know what's in your heart, and nobody can really argue that for you. So for what it's worth, I don't even feel like you should have to keep going over yourself, because people made up their minds one way or another. You know how
Yeah.
that goes.
And then there, like I said, there are people that are going to find something about just like Captain Napton saying, honestly, you have no idea. I'm assuming she's talking about me. No idea what that mom, either mom for that matter, was going through. I said, I was talking about what Kendrick went through, and that I gave the mom the benefit of the doubt, thinking if it were me, talking for me, I would rather think something happened quickly than to think he died by
Horrifically.
suffocating.
Right.
So I honestly don't have any idea what that mom felt. Either
No, I
mom.
couldn't imagine. And I imagine maybe
so-
she didn't want to feel like he could have done something differently. I couldn't even, I mean, listen, a mother's entitled to all her feelings, all of them. And it's just an overall horrific case. But I think Hills has been put into a position to, where kind of, unfortunately, seems like you were kind of battled with the family a little bit, because you were defending what you saw as the underdog at that time. And of course, the family's not going to like that.
I never battled with the family.
Well, they called you out, apparently, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say you battled
Because
with them.
it's, again, it had come out by somebody else and they were repeating it. Even the lawyer said, oh, yeah, we're going to, I think he said file a lawsuit. And then if you kept reading the sentence, said, calling her graphic. I called the pictures graphic. Okay. She was being very graphic with the pictures. However you want to say it. You said both moms were feeling, so I don't think it was just about one. Anyway, so yeah, and then he said, but we're not going to do anything. All you need to do is read one of, I think there were 3 lawsuits by that attorney, because like I said, Ben Crump got out of there. They're incredible lawsuits. I mean, just, she in fact owes $350,000 in, because he was sanctioned and they were sanctioned for not being able to, because of the frivolous lawsuit. And it was incredible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I see what can we just get 20K for a house? That would be great. Thank you so much, Hills, for coming up. And if you're going live, I look forward to it.
All right. It'll probably be later.
All right. Happy New
All right.
Year.
Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Right, Kelly Ford, can I as well? I knew that. We already knew, especially when a video went out making that the tone of my stream, that it would be the tone. But it wasn't. And those who know me knows it wasn't. And such as I just told, whatchamacallit, just told Heels, I'm not going to argue my position any further either. I think it is so easy to look at one little perspective and say like, oh, like, no, you know, enough sadness around here. You had a right to defend yourself also. I never came at you for that. Yeah. It's unfortunate that it's attached to that, but it's also unfortunate that similar behaviors continue and she continues to pass judgment and dox others and go real life. And this was a situation where she was being proven a liar. It is unfortunate that it's attached to that, but for me, it wasn't about that. And I would never make that a focal point. I never have and never will. I can give my empathy while holding accountability. And yeah, it's just the way it is. But yes, we were derailed today. And I'll tell you what, I'll be honest, I'm tired. I don't even feel like going back over any of it. At the end of the day, how Kendrick's parents decide to handle their loss is how they decide, and I will not pass judgment on them. As I can imagine, it's been a whirlwind for them, and fortunates have never been in their position. I am not responsible for anything anybody else says on my panel, just as others aren't responsible for what is said on their panels. That wasn't a derailment. No, it wasn't a derailment at all. That was good because people need to hear all sides. I am sorry for everybody in this chat that has lost a child, a loved one. I can't even fathom. I couldn't fathom. People with a hate issue will never be swayed, even with facts, right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Zane. You know what Coco's big issue is with me? Coco's big issue is that I allowed somebody to be in my chat that they felt like shouldn't be around because they were ageism. A man was ageism. So she thought that I should block somebody from coming in my chat on my panel because she didn't like them. But we constantly see her doing that in other chats where she's like crying out like, oh, she like thinks she has some type of empowerment over people's chats. It's bizarre entitlement for a bird avatar. So go on with your hate agenda, Coco, but just know people are like literally laughing at you all the time because you're such a fucking, you need coddling and it's pathetic. I think it's ridiculous that to defend a subject you decide to cover. Others don't. Facts, Queen Bella. It was an important topic cover as it's still being discussed. Yeah, and I feel like there are two sides to everything. And, and I don't know if people have realized it yet, but that is kind of, well, she's done it like 5 times this week, Laura Lee, and that's why that video was played. And she says in the chat, bring you up every 2 seconds when our chat is policed. I don't get it. I don't know if people have realized yet, but I am doing like a thing where like I overview the other drama going on, and unfortunately sometimes it will likely involve somebody you like. Maybe it won't. What I will never do, and you can mark my words on this, what I will never do, I will never show somebody's personal details that lead to their real life information. I don't give a shit about your medical, where you live, about your children, about your loved ones. I will never show messages that contain to any of that. I will never direct people to where your loved ones are doxxed or where anybody is doxxed that you care about. I will never intentionally cover things like that. Okay. I will intentionally stay away from things like that. So don't ever have that fear. Should be about the words chosen to write about this true crime case, how and where, by whom it was used, and one of the most politically, racially charged times in American history. That was kind of the way I was going to go with it, but, listen for knowledge, not to respond. Thank you, Kathy P. Yeah, it's just the way it is. I appreciate all of you being here today. If you could please hit the thumbs up. I do wish you all a very happy new year. I will go out with this beautiful video and hopefully see you all in 2024.